Second half. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. As dawn neared, Chongfu Street lay quiet. Almost every shop had closed its doors, leaving only the flickering neon signs to paint the alleys in patchy, shifting light. A chill wind whistled through, setting the rows of red lanterns overhead swinging wildly. The girl with long, rose-colored hair hurried forward. Her heels hit the stone pavement without a sound.
It's late. Where exactly do you intend to go?
Marian's cold voice drifted down from the eaves at the mouth of the alley. In the dim night, she looked like a specter. An instant later, she was standing silently in front of Cersei, completely blocking her path. Cersei spun around without a second thought, but when she saw Acacia and me at the other end of the street, her eyes widened in shock.
Chief.
Ooh, still.
I was only going to...
You were going to plant those sounds and scents, weren't you? You mentioned before that your manifestation ability leaned toward mental manipulation. Judging from how the tourists act, this isn't just some illusion, and you need sounds and scents to make it work. So it's mental suggestion, right? You planted the idea in everyone on Chongfu Street that they must stay here until the flood hits. After I laid her plan out, a look of unexpected delight crossed Cersei's face. She even let out a small, unburdened smile.
Thank goodness. I knew you wouldn't be affected, Chief.
But the secrecy. I mean, MC does the same thing.
I'm sorry I kept this from you. But you coming to Chongfu Street was never part of my plan. When I saw you here yesterday, I was worried that the suggestion had already taken root in you all. I didn't dare tell you the truth, as I was afraid it might destabilize your mind. But it looks like you're all right after all.
Her tone was lighthearted, so much so that it sent a chill crawling up my spine. Why?
To catch Sophie, of course.
Cersei adjusted her glasses, her voice tinged with puzzlement. When I didn't respond, she went on, explaining gently and patiently.
Have you forgotten what the Oracle said?
What oracle? What are you talking about?
Sophie doesn't just want to cleanse sin. She wants to guide the souls of her faithful as well. If the relocation plan goes through and everyone really evacuates to the inland areas of Ulster, how is Lugalan supposed to stay on Sophie's radar? How are we supposed to catch her?
So the residents of Chongfu Street, they're all your bait?
Mm-hmm.
She nodded, firm and without a moment's hesitation.
If we want Sophie to follow through with her original plan, this is the least we could do.
It's using human lives as pawns. Lovely.
I was going to wait until the suggestion reached in deeper before telling you. I want to prove that you can rely on me, Chief. That you can trust me again. Just like before.
Her rose-colored hair fluttered softly in the wind, strands brushing across her flushed cheeks, and the faint smile tugging at the corners of her lips. And if we fail to stop Sophie and the flood does come, were you planning to let these people die? Cersei caught the tone of my voice and frowned, doubt flickering across her face.
I did think about them. I did.
Maybe you've been with the Adventists for too long.
Most of the people staying here are elderly, or pilgrims who want to go to Valhalla anyway. Even if the flood comes, they wouldn't survive it. Or rather, they don't want to. My power is what makes this whole retro fair feel like a sweet dream coming true. Like they've really stepped back into the past. A past with no flood, no Adventists, no Titans. They get to relive a happy memory and help us at the same time. Isn't that a good thing?
Cersei's voice stayed calm from beginning to end. Her gaze was clear and steady, without the faintest hint of guilt. Undo the suggestion you planted in them.
Huh? Why?
She froze, her voice trembling as if she couldn't believe what she just heard. There are so many ways for us to catch Sophie. You chose the one you never should have. They're living people, with the right to make their own choices. They're not tools for you to use to get what you want.
But I was just trying to help you.
I don't need that kind of help, Cersei. A victory built on needless sacrifice means nothing. At my words, Cersei bit down hard on her lower lip until blood welled up. She tasted iron on her tongue as she struggled to hold herself together. Light in her eyes wavered, hope draining away, leaving nothing but disappointment, then despair.
So everything I do is meaningless. Just like before.
Oh my god. Oh god, I feel so bad for you.
So no matter what I do, I'll never get your attention. Is that it?
That's not what I meant. Cersei slowly lifted her head. She almost never looked me in the eye. Most of the time, her gaze stayed lowered or drifted elsewhere. But now her pale blue eyes locked into mine, burning with anger. 6 years of suppressed emotions surged upward all at once.
What I did. This despicable choice was the only way I could think of to help you find Sophie. I just wanted us to go back to the way we were. Is that so hard? To hell with saving the world. Or some grand, lofty mission. Why did you have to become someone I could never reach?
Why didn't you tell this? Why didn't you say this to him before? You should have just told him all that night. Cersei, calm down.
I am calm.
Bro, you don't you don't tell someone to calm down like that. She clutched at the fabric over her chest, spinning out each word through her clenched teeth. Tears rolled down her cheeks, then all at once, her legs gave out and she collapsed to the ground like an abandoned rag doll, as if every last bit of strength had drained from her. Damn it.
Chief, why do you keep drifting further and further away?
Man.
Why? Why does it have to be like this? I'm begging you. Just turn around and look at me. Please.
It's a hard sight to look at. An invisible pressure burst outward from Cersei. Her eyes reddened, bloodshot eyes spiderwebbing across the whites. The concentration of Tytogen around us spiked violently. Something inside her was starting to break loose. You really are the boss. It's such... It is what it is. Acacia and Marion recognized it instantly. They both stepped back, putting distance between themselves and the sobbing girl crumpled on the ground.
Adjutant, she's flooded.
Oh, that's right, she's a manifestation.
Her mind is collapsing. If this keeps up...
Marion stopped observing and stepped in front of me with Acacia without hesitation. Cersei clutched her head, her shoulders jerking as stabbing pain shot through her nerves. Cersei, stay with me. Her rose-colored hair began to float. No, there was no wind at all. The color at the roots slowly bled into gold. Subtle changes began to appear across her body. In those final moments before she fully transformed into a demiurge, her tear-filled eyes held resentment, sorrow, and a bottomless despair.
I don't get it. How could an emotional collapse be strong enough to trigger a flooding?
Acacia stared at Cersei in disbelief. She had never seen anyone lose themselves over something like this before. What she didn't know was that this torment had been building for 6 long years, fed by a single, unbroken lie. For over 2,000 days, Cersei's Davos, Apate, the goddess of deceit, had been reinforcing the same suggestion inside her again and again. Oh, that didn't help. Oh shit. Someday, you will come back to me. She clung to that lie to hold herself together, believing her patience would be rewarded, believing he would eventually turn back to her. But now that lie had finally shattered. The moment it collapsed was the moment its price came due. The air grew thick and sticky. Fine cracks spidered across the stone slabs beneath our feet, with rose-colored mist seeping up through them. I drew in a steady breath, stepped forward. Acacia and Marion exchanged a quick glance. That instant, they understood exactly what I meant to do.
Don't come any closer! Stay away from me!
As I moved toward her, her expression twisted even further.
I said, stay away!
The Tytogen inside her surged violently out of control, whipping up an invisible storm through the narrow lanes of Chongfu Street. But the moment it reached me, the storm unraveled, flowing obediently into my body. I crouched beside her, leaned in, and gently pulled her into my arms. She fought with me with everything she had, shoving at my chest, desperate to break free of the embrace. Stay still. More and more Tytogen poured out of her and flowed into me. Her ragged, frantic breaths gradually settled into a steady, even rhythm. The golden strands in her hair faded back to a soft rose, falling in loose, wispy strands. When they brushed against my fingertips, they still carried a faint warmth. Her bangs were damp. Sweat plastered messily across her pale face. She looked completely disheveled. Once the flooding was fully suppressed, some strength seeped back into her limbs, only for her to use all of it trying to push me away.
You saw everything?
Poor thing. Yes, I did. When I was stabilizing her flooding, the fragmented Tytogen spilling out of her flowed into me. And the end of that winter flooded into my mind in vivid detail. They're sending me to Mistelton Station soon. Cersei, will you come with me?
Huh?
Stop, man, come on. Yes, Luna was injured during the descent, and she might end up losing all of her memories. And Haru, I think she still needs more time before she's ready. There aren't many people left I can trust, so will you join my team and come with me to Mistelton Station?
Me?
She ran her fingertip along the edge of the chair, trying to hide her embarrassment. His earnest gaze didn't ignite any resolve in her. If anything, it hit her like a splash of cold water. She remembered the hardships of her time in Ulster. She remembered the grind of her internship and the time she had to grit her teeth just to get by among the Adventists. All of it had been for a better life, to satisfy that restless, ambitious heart. Not for humanity, a mass of strangers she'd never met, not for some vague, lofty ideal.
I don't know.
I see. Her reluctance must have been too obvious because Andro cut it right away. He didn't blame her or try to talk her into it. He didn't even show the faintest trace of disappointment. He simply gave a faint smile. It's alright. I understand. Everyone walks their own path. Then, before I leave, would you do me one last favor, Cersei?
What is it?
Plant a suggestion in me. Make it this. The paper books at Academia Acropolis are important.
That's it?
Cersei froze. She had thought it would be some dangerous mission, something to atone for her betrayal. But instead, it turned out to be something this small. Yes, that's it. There's something else I want to give you, too. He placed a thin letter of recommendation in her hands, the envelope sealed with a red wax stamp. With this letter, you can work under Director Tau or Theta, and become a full-fledged Yggdrasil employee again. I'm sorry for deciding for you even before asking your opinion. But the truth is they focus more on technical work, which means far less internal politics. It's a place where your abilities can truly shine, and where your way up will be much easier. Cersei still stared blankly at the recommendation letter, the color slowly draining from her face. So he'd known she wouldn't want to go to Mistilton Station with him before he asked. He was fighting for the future of all humanity, while she had only been thinking of climbing higher. It's understandable. He'd already paved the path for her, and she didn't even have the courage to stand with him and face what was ahead.
Thank you.
Wait, this actually happened? Is this... This is not some alternate vision. This actually happened? He gave you that. He gave you the choice to join him, but it's your fault. God damn it. Ah. Oh my god, Cersei, you fucking... She'd had so much she wanted to say, but in the end, her own cowardice reduced everything to just two cold, empty words. In the end, she clutched the letter, shot to her feet, and ran from that tiny pocket of warmth against the snow. You gotta be fucking kidding me. And that single moment of running away ended up sending her into 6 long years of emptiness. You did this. You did this. You can't blame him. You did this. Ah. So it was guilt that made you care so much about being needed by me?
What's the point of saying any of this now? You're not going to forgive me anyway.
Reach out. Cersei lifted her head, staring at the hand I held out to her. Her tear-reddened eyes clouded with confusion.
What is the meaning of this?
You're not going to Mistilton Station back then. You not going to Mistilton Station back then. That wasn't your fault. And wanting a better future for yourself was never wrong to begin with. If I'd known all this had been weighing on you, I would have pulled you out of that darkness myself. But it isn't too late. If you're willing, we can still set things right on Chongfu Street. Much kinder and stronger than you think, and a lot closer to me than you realize. So, would you like to try stand with me this time? My hand hovered in the air. She didn't answer for a long while, only staring at it, dazed. You better say yes, you fucking... It was such a short distance, when she could close with a single motion. Yet something heavy still held her back. Her fingers twitched. She reached out a fraction and recoiled in fear.
Can I really do this?
Of course you can. After a long silence, Cersei finally reached out. She raised her arm slowly, letting her fingertips rest in my palm, trembling with hesitation. Beside us, Acacia and Marion shared a relieved glance, letting out quiet breaths in unison. I closed my hand around hers and helped her to her feet. By then, the first light of dawn had spilled over Chongfu Street, gently drying the last of her tears. Well, that's a relief. Alright. First, we need to break the suggestion planted in the residents and evacuate them inland. Cersei rubbed her eyes, sore from crying, and shook her head with a weary sigh.
Once a suggestion is planted, it can't be undone by me directly. A suggestion works because the subject's subconscious accepts it. To break it, they have to question it and reject it themselves.
This is gonna take a while. Shit.
They're already deeply nostalgic for the past. And with a manifestation ability involved, I don't think ordinary people can break free on their own.
Oh, Cersei. Her voice faded away as she lowered her head in guilt, biting her lower lip again until it bled. God damn it, Cersei, I just want to give you a hug. Is there really nothing we can do?
It's not entirely hopeless. People who accept the same suggestion become subconsciously linked. It forms a kind of network.
A nexus.
Put simply, think of a group suggestion as a chain, each link connected to the next.
So even if one link breaks, the whole chain would start to loosen? Cersei nodded softly, confirming my guess.
But the suggestion never worked on any of you. That means you can't connect to the subconscious network to begin with. However, Acacia might be an exception.
This is where you shine, baby. I still can't forget that scene. It was... I have to say, it was fucking hot, man. It's just goddamn, man. It was nice. Oh, when Cersei looked her way, Acacia blinked. Then the look of, I see, surfaced.
Because I'm still attached to the old days, right?
The good old days?
If you deliberately try to accept the suggestion, you might be able to slip into the network.
I'm glad you're with us, Cersei. I feel better now. In that case, the suggestion you planted in me about the paper books at Academia Acropolis.
That's right. It only worked because you convinced yourself first.
Sounds solid. Let's do this.
Acacia nodded like it was nothing. Cersei, however, frowned again, worry creeping back into her face.
But once you're part of the chain, it won't be easy to break free.
Oh, Acacia.
Nah. It's the only option we've got if we want to save the residents.
Meh.
Adjutant, I'm pretty confident about this. Just let me try.
I believe you. I got faith in you. She shot me a playful wink, her eyes crinkling with a smile.
You trust me, don't you?
Yes, I do. But to be safe, I'll enter your inner mind and help you break free from the suggestion.
I agree. That is safer. Don't worry, Adjutant. I'll protect both you and Acacia while you're inside.
Nice. As Cersei listened, the worry on her face only deepened.
There's no way this is going to work.
Have some faith.
Then let's do this. Operation Chainbreaker. Here we go. But how will I know if I've actually broken the suggestion? Am I supposed to feel something?
If you form a clear, definite thought that you want to leave, that means you've succeeded.
Got it. Once the adjutant's inside my inner mind, I'll start letting Cersei's suggestion in. Then, slip into the network.
Alright. Let's begin. Hearing that, Acacia let her body relax, manifested her inner mind. Cersei's hypnotic whisper drifted into our ears, each word slowly sinking into my subconscious.
This is the bygone era you've missed so dearly.
It's quite a power you got, Cersei. You could abuse the fuck out of that.
You won't want to leave until the flood comes.
Can abuse this shit real bad.
Stay here for as long as you like. You're happy here.
The scene around me grew hazy. Chongfu streets slowly faded from view. My consciousness sank, dropping into the depths of Acacia's inner mind. Wow. Alright. Oh, we got a file too, alright. Once that sticky, heavy feeling faded, I opened my eyes. The world slowly sharpened into focus. Stone path, the 24 arched bridges, the tiered eaves, the archway hung with red lanterns, every detail made it clear where I was. Acacia's inner mind was full of drifting memories, but since the scene was still Chongfu Street, I was probably only skimming the surface of her consciousness. A few steps in, I already noticed something was off. Everything looked just a little too perfect. The sunlight was bright and warm, and a soft, carefree atmosphere hung over every corner. The girl at the newsstand had fished out a few more old manga, and was happily setting them out on display. Colorful hard candies clicked as they were poured into glass jars, gleaming invitingly in the window. People had even set out wicker chairs and tables along the street. Small groups were already sitting down to play mahjong. Everything here felt almost unnaturally idyllic. It looked like Acacia's consciousness had successfully slipped into the subconscious network. I was still trying to figure out how to find Acacia's projected self when a sudden announcement crackled from the PA system overhead. That unmistakable old-time static buzzed through the air.
The Retro Fair special event, the Mini 4WD Grand Prix, will begin at 10 a.m. in the Central Plaza. All contestants...
The Central Plaza. It was like a hint from Acacia's subconscious. I should check it out. After the announcement, I headed for the Central Plaza. A sizable crowd had already gathered to watch the event. At the center, several large workbenches had been set up, and contestants were fully absorbed in building and tuning their mini 4WD cars. Acacia, or rather, the version of her in this memory, was standing in front of the sign-up poster, studying it closely. When she noticed me, she didn't question it, as if my sudden appearance were completely natural.
Adjutant, there you are.
What are you looking at?
The Mini 4WD race, of course.
What's a Mini 4WD?
They're model race cars. People used to build their own and race them to see which was the fastest.
She explained with genuine enthusiasm. A nostalgic excitement is shining in her eyes. She never mentioned joining the race herself. She only watched the contestants from a distance, her gaze tinged with envy and longing. Don't you want to join, Acacia?
I don't really know how to build one.
Oh. You don't? I thought you were good with everything from back then.
I didn't have anyone to do stuff like this with. And racing alone, that's not much fun, right?
Yeah. She let out a soft, resigned sigh and shrugged. So she was interested. She never tried it. If I can give her the kind of joy she never got to have back then, maybe she'll realize something's off and notice the suggestion at work. With that in mind, I turned to her and pointed at the poster. Let's sign up.
Huh? But you don't know how to build one either, do you?
We won't know until we try. And just like that, I led Acacia over to the pit area. After we signed up, a staff member quickly set us up with a workbench. Faced with a spread of parts laid out on the table, Acacia was clearly at a loss. She scratched her head, grabbed the manual, and flipped through it.
I've watched the whole mini 4WD anime 3 times. How am I still not understanding this manual?
Even if we build it exactly like the manual says, it'll end up just like everyone else's. That won't give us much of a shot at winning. Better let me handle the assembly. I picked up the chassis and looked it over. If you want speed, we need a hand-wound motor. Acacia, hand me the file and the nippers.
Huh? How come you're better at this than me? You didn't even know what a mini 4WD was 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, I picked up the basics of mechanical modding from Frisha and Haru. This is pretty easy to me. For me. Oh, and don't just stand there. You're the one entering the race after all. I slid the white body shell and a thick stack of decals toward her. Your favorite part? Visual design.
What visual design? I'm just putting stickers on.
Despite her grumbling, Acacia was already humming a cheerful tune as she grabbed the tweezers and got to work. Every now and then she tilted her head to peek at what I was doing. I'd lean over to talk her through her part. Time seemed to slow. The noise around us faded, leaving only the soft clicks of metal, the steady rhythm of our beating hearts. Once I finished with the motor, I paused, thinking it over.
What's wrong?
The bearings aren't running smoothly enough. Need to tune them a bit more. While I rummaged through the parts, Acacia finished adding her own tweak to the design. On the blue and white body, she carefully painted chibi versions of our faces on the back of the car.
All done. Let's call it Speed Sonic.
Yeah! Speed Sonic. Oh, we're in Green Hills again? She proudly shook the body shell in her hands like she was showing off some masterpiece. I couldn't help laughing at how cute she looked. She smiled back, her eyes curling into little crescents. Alright, time for the final assembly. We finished putting Speed Sonic together just as the PA called everyone to the starting line. The racers gathered at the front, carefully placing their mini 4WDs on the track, all of them itching to begin.
Adjutant, are you nervous?
When I turned around, Acacia had somehow gotten herself a pair of goggles and pulled them on. They made her look ridiculous and adorable all at once. What are you wearing on her head? What are you wearing on your head?
Looks like I know something you don't after all. This is what the manga protagonist wears for a big race. With these, we're totally taking first.
She carefully adjusted the goggles, then put on a serious face as she waited for the starting signal.
All racers, take your positions. 10-second countdown begins now. 10, 9, 8.
When the starting gun went off, the colorful mini 4WDs shot forward like arrows, and Acacia bolted right after them. Gonna say something, bro? People were already staring at her, but for Acacia, that still wasn't dramatic enough. Seeing everyone still frozen in place, she kept sprinting after Speed Sonic while shouting at the top of her lungs, her voice echoing across the track.
What are you all doing just standing there? You've got to run with your mini 4WD all the way to the finish. That's how you build a real bond.
Cheesy and over the top as her speech was, it somehow fired everyone up. The racers blinked in confusion, then cheered and took off after their cars. It was a little embarrassing, sure, but with Acacia watching me with those hopeful eyes, how can I not run with her? Look at that! Speed Sonic held steady on the track, leaving the other cars in the dust. Acacia's brisk run turned into an excited little skip, her whole body buzzing with energy.
We're winning! We're winning!
Don't start celebrating yet, Acacia. The last stretch is where the race is really decided. Sure enough, right after I said that, a purple mini 4WD shot up along the side and cut in front of Speed Sonic. A pair of spinning blades popped out from the back as it slowed, drifting closer to our car.
Huh? Seriously?
Cheap trip like that? They really think it'll work on us? Whoosh. Speed Sonic tilted sharply and shot up onto the wall of the track, skimming along it to overtake the purple car in one clean move.
Slick move, Adjutant.
After clearing the hairpin turns and ramps, all the cars finally reached the last straightaway. Alright, Acacia, time to show your secret weapon that built into our car.
Really? We've got a secret weapon?
A jet of air burst from Speed Sonic's tail. The blast sent the car spinning, whipping itself into a tiny tornado that raced down the track.
Huh, that's... Sonic Tornado!
Speed Sonic kept gaining speed. To keep up with the blue and white streak, Acacia left the other racers far behind. The wind roared past her ears, and suddenly she saw that the only one still ahead of her was Andrew. Just the sight of him sent her heart racing. The noise faded, the track blurred, the crowd blurred, everything else stopped mattering. The only thing that came into focus was Andrew. Without thinking, Acacia reached out for him, the one person who always brought her warmth and joy. Just as something planted deep inside her mind began to slip loose.
Ow!
She slammed into my back and bounced off, landing hard on the ground. Rubbing her head, she looked up at me with a little pout.
Adjutant, why'd you stop all of a sudden?
I quickly turned, pulled her to her feet, and drew her into my arms. Dummy, I stopped because Speed Sonic has already crossed the finish line. We got first place!
Really? Really?
She froze for a heartbeat, then leapt into the air, her eyes sparkling with excitement. A nearby event staff member hurried over, grinning from ear to ear.
Congratulations on taking first place. Here's your prize, a set of our special commemorative postcards.
You're kidding. First place gets... postcards? That's it?
I'm afraid so.
Bruh. No prize money, no nothing like that? Faced with Acacia's disappointed look, the staffer could only scratch her head and give an awkward smile.
Fine. Better than nothing. So, where do we pick them up?
There's a time capsule post office over there. You can pick them up inside.
She pointed toward a green building just a few steps from the plaza.
Adjutant, wanna go check it out?
It's not far anyway. Might as well. We'd barely taken a few steps when the staffer called after us again.
Oh, one more thing. You're allowed to take your custom Mini 4WD home.
Built the damn thing, yeah, shit, we better. After stowing Speed Sonic safely away, Acacia and I headed toward the time capsule post office. I kept an eye on her along the way, but even with the race over, she didn't show the slightest sign of wanting to leave. Just like Cersei said, breaking free from that implanted suggestion is going to take some patience. Still turning that over in my mind, I pushed the door open and stepped inside. Maybe it's because post offices don't exist anymore in our era, but stepping inside one felt strangely new to me. Two large mailboxes stood by the entrance, one red, one green. Beyond the service counter, an open space held rows of postcard displays. I was still deciding which postcard to take as our prize when Acacia slipped up beside me, mischief glimmering in her eyes.
Adjutant, do you know why this place is called the Time Capsule Post Office?
Seeing I had no idea, her brows arched slightly, and she gave me a smug little smile.
It's because you can send letters to your future self.
Okay.
All you have to do is write a delivery date, and when that day comes, a letter from the past will show up right at your door. Since we don't have much use for our 2 postcards anyway, why don't we send them to the future?
Sounds good to me. So what are you planning to tell your future self?
That's a secret.
Alright then, keep your secrets. She twirled away toward the postcard racks. After browsing for a while, she finally settled on a scenic shot of Chengfu Street. The pen in hand, she tilted her head and tried to think. But even after tapping the pen against her lips a dozen times, the card stayed blank. Her golden eyes darted left and right as she thought, rolling in little circles before she finally lit up with an idea.
I can't think of anything to say to myself. So how about we switch then?
Okay.
I'll write to the future you, and you write to the future me. Deal?
Sounds good. We'll swap then. Even though this was only her inner mind rather than reality, I still wrote what I genuinely wanted to say. I must have written too fast because her little protest came right away.
Hey, this is a letter from me. Could you take it a little more seriously?
Oh, I took it very seriously. I've been thinking about what I wanted to tell you for a long time, so the words just came out naturally. A blush crept up the tip of her ears and slowly washed across her cheeks like watercolor. She looked as if she was expecting a confession.
For a long time? Then, can you tell me now?
This is a time capsule. Nah. This is a letter for the future. This is a letter for the future. Only in the future Acacia gets to open it.
Huh?
In that instant, something inside her seemed to crack softly, and a strange, inexplicable longing welled up in her chest.
I really want to see that future.
Oh, there we go. There we go. As that thought took shape, I dropped my postcard into the mailbox. With the soft rustle of paper landing inside, the world around us began to ripple. The bright colors, the warm sunlight, the cheerful crowd, everything blurred and dissolved. And when my senses finally settled, I found myself standing on a completely different street. Is this memory drift? The place was eerily empty, trash littered the ground, and every gust of wind picked up a veil of dust. Far ahead, a digital billboard flickered with a news broadcast. In the lower right corner, the confirmed Juvosis cases, highlighted in harsh red, ticked upward by the second. Judging from the news ticker, this had to be sometime between 2027 and 2030 when Juvosis went global and everything fell apart. Would you look at that? 2027. It's like a year from now. Right now. I wonder what's gonna happen between 2027 and 2030 in real life, huh? More bullshit? More boring shit? I'd rather it be peaceful than bullshit, honestly. Peaceful and boring than bullshit. If I was right, this was a much deeper layer of Acacia's consciousness, where Circe's suggestion would take an even stronger hold. The farther I walked, the bleaker it got. Most of the shop windows lining the street were shattered. The pharmacies were even worse shape. Shelves toppled and supplies scattered everywhere. Just as I wondered which way to go, a manga shop caught my eye. Maybe because nothing inside was worth looting. It hadn't taken much damage. When I pushed the door open, a faint smell of ink drifted out. Sunlight slanted through the beige curtains, bathing the room in soft golden light. I walked between row after row of shelves, not another soul in sight. The place was so quiet that the only sound was my own footsteps. As my eyes trailed along the spines of the manga volumes, a familiar title stood out. Instinctively, I reached out and pulled the volume from the shelf. The moment the book slid free from the shelf, a pair of beautiful eyes appeared in the gap behind it. Acacia's lips parted slightly, her lashes trembling, startled by my sudden appearance. In this memory, we hadn't met. She had no way of recognizing me. She doesn't know me yet. How am I supposed to make her want to leave the old era behind? As I was still turning that over in my mind, she pulled a manga volume from the shelf, hugged it to her chest, and walked over to a small table by the window in the corner. I followed and sat down across from her. She blinked at me, startled, then quickly dropped her gaze and began flipping through the manga. What I could tell, she wasn't actually reading. Every few seconds she'd steal another glance at me from the corner of her eye, curiosity written all over her face. shop was so quiet that the only sound was the occasional rustling of a page turning. After a long while, she finally couldn't hold it in any longer.
Do you think it's good?
The moment the words left her mouth, she panicked and scrambled to explain herself.
I'm not trying to bother you or anything. It's just... no one's come here in a long time. And I don't know why, but you feel kind of familiar, so I probably asked more than I should have. If you like it too, then I guess that makes us fellow fans.
Her voice grew lower and lower until the last few words were barely more than a mutter. Yeah, it's great. I really like it. At my answer, her eyes brightened, and a soft smile spread across her face.
You do?
Wonder what manga we're reading.
Then, which part do you like best?
The eclipse. Before I could reply, her expression dimmed, the excitement slowly draining from her eyes.
I wonder if the author will ever get to continue it.
Oh, oh, God. Why'd you gotta say that now? Damn it. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Miura.
With the world like this, it's probably better not to hope for too much.
Actually, the series picks up again in 2058. I've already read the ending. Acacia scoffed, the corner of her mouth twitching.
Oh, I get it. So you've got a bad case of Chuny too? What's your power then? Time travel or seeing the future?
Well, given the situation right now, I'd say time travel sounds about right. She raised an eyebrow, diagnosing my condition with a suspicious look.
Then prove it. What happens at the end?
God damn it, you look so cute right now. You sure you want spoilers? Alright then. The ninja who threw the world into chaos meets someone who lights up his life, like the sun in the new era. Two of them live happily ever after.
That's it?
That's it.
For real? It actually has a happy ending? Wait a sec. There's no way I'm buying that. You totally made it up.
With that, she shot me about and looked away, refusing to talk to me anymore. Oh, come on! A few minutes later, her soft, sweet voice drifted out again. Half to herself, half like she hoped I would hear.
Still, that ending does sound nice.
Everyone likes a happy ending. I don't.
2058 must be a happy time for the author to draw something like that. I wish I could see that future for myself.
Yearn for it. Didn't that scare you? Jumping into a completely unfamiliar era just to see the ending of a manga?
Now that you put it like that, maybe it would. Wait. Why am I even talking to you about something that's never going to happen?
Come on. 'Cause it's a nice conversation, don't you like it? Her eyes dropped to her arm out of reflex. A small patch of crystal jutted from her skin, glowing faintly blue. It was the mark death had left on her, the sign of the juvosis she couldn't escape. No matter what the future held, it was a future she would never reach. She didn't know how long she stayed lost in the daze before she finally blinked and came back to herself. When she looked up, the seat across from her was empty.
He left.
A hollow ache opened quietly in her chest. In times as chaotic as these, it had been so long since anyone had simply sat down and talked with her. Everyone else was too busy trying to survive. Any spare moment they had went into scraping together money for more doses of treatment, not chatting with strangers. She lowered her gaze, caught somewhere between disappointment and the sinking feeling that she was being ridiculous. He was just some stranger. They only talked for a few minutes. He was just some stranger. And he was a total chuny on top of that. So why did it hurt this much?
But he liked that manga too. So that means we're fellow fans, right?
She was still lost in thought when 2 cups of instant noodles slid onto the table in front of her.
Huh?
Hungry? Want to eat together? Her first instinct was to refuse, but the moment she saw the label, she froze. Tonkatsu, her favorite. It's pretty good. I like tonkatsu. And just imagining that rich, savory broth was enough to make her cave in.
But this is a manga shop. Isn't it kind of rude to eat in here?
Man, ain't nobody gonna be in, in here. No one's coming in anyway.
Right.
She nodded, a little deflated. If this place had held anything worth taking, it wouldn't still be intact. As soon as the hot water hit the cup, the aroma filled the little room. The 2 of us sat at the small table in the corner and started slurping. Slurp? I don't eat my noodles like that. Seriously, are you trying to slurp me?
Nuh-uh. I'm just really enjoying it.
Sunlight pooled across the table, over the rising steam and across the faint blush warming her cheeks. For a moment, Acacia felt genuinely happy. She wasn't a special forces operative fighting to survive. She was just an ordinary girl in the manga shop, sharing cup noodles with someone who just made the world feel a little less cold. And for the first time in a very long time, she felt connected to a world that was otherwise falling apart. Just as she finished the last sip of broth with a small, satisfied burp, her terminal buzzed.
Report to the lab immediately. New findings to discuss.
Her heart sank at once. She had finally met someone who made her feel less alone. And now they were already about to go their separate ways.
I have to go. Will I get to see you again?
The moment the words slipped out, she felt her face burn up. But she forced herself to meet his eyes, waiting, hoping for an answer. I doubt it. Not in this era, at least.
I see.
But you can come find me. We can read manga together, eat cup noodles, play games. You could even become a game developer. I'll be your personal tester. And Acacia was pretty sure her brain had short-circuited. It was the only explanation for why every word out of his mouth sounded painfully tempting. None of it felt realistic, yet she wanted to believe him all the same.
Then, where am I supposed to find you?
I'll be waiting for you in the future.
Don't joke around with that Chunibyo stuff.
I'm serious. Oh wow! I'm serious. Acacia. Hearing him say her name so clearly, so accurately, made her freeze. The thought flickered through her mind. It's too good for her to believe even for a second. He knew her name. He knew her favorite manga. He knew she liked tonkatsu cup noodles. If he really was from the future, did that mean she survived? And the person sitting across from her, was he the one she would someday find, the one who would bring her happiness in the future? Hope surged so fast her nose stung and her eyes went red. Her voice trembled, thin and unsteady with tears she struggled to hold back.
Can we pinky swear on that? Promise you'll be there waiting for me in the future. And everything you said, making games, you testing them, all of it.
I promise. Oh, come on. Nice. Their pinkies hooked together. Acacia held on for a long while. A long time, reluctant to let go. She was terrified that if she loosened her grip, he would vanish, and the future with him in it would vanish too. But her terminal kept buzzing, again and again, each vibration sharper and more insistent. In the end, she slowly let go of his pinky and gave him a small, trembling smile, her eyes still bright with tears.
You have to wait for me in the future, okay? Like you promised. I'll get there as fast as I can. I'll run if I have to.
With that, she turned and pushed open the manga shop's door. Warm, bright sunlight spilled in, wrapping her in its glow. She drew in a deep breath, wiped her tears with the back of her hand, and stepped outside. Oh. Oh. Precious thing. Ah. Alright. Action time? Oh, more action. Oh yeah. Okay. How long's... jeez. Yeah, we're making some progress. Perfect. Would you look at that? Mine. Can I use my Acacia? She's completely maxed out. Promise. I promise. Can I use the one I have? No? You wouldn't want me to? Too much? Too powerful? Too powerful? Oh, is she? Unable to view. Okay. Power sinkers are active. Okay. Use mine. My Acacia is completely maxed out. Whoa.
Huh? Where am I? Wasn't I with the adjutant just now? How strange. I know this is a mind trick, so why am I still clinging to all this?
Jedi mind tricks? Would it even work? Oh, man. You know, sometimes I wish these images would be in super high definition. But it's fine. I can overlook it. I'm pretty easy to immerse. I'm the kind of person that's very understanding and acceptable of getting immersed into.
Acacia, congratulations on passing the test. You're now a test subject for the Manifestation Project.
So that means I get to live?
There's no guarantee, but there's a good chance. A very good chance.
So what do I have to do next?
First, the surgery. Then, we'll move on to simulation training, based on the experiment plan. Acacia, you look hesitant. Are you unwilling?
Unwilling? Yeah, right. You've no idea how long I've waited for this. Finally, I get to see what the future has in store for me.
Nice.
What I just saw should be my memory of just becoming a test subject. My hope of living, of heading into the future, pushed me to hit every target in the early stages of the experiment. I gave it my all in every simulation training. Maybe that's why Cersei's suggestion didn't work on me at first. I wanted tomorrow more than anybody else. And I didn't like this tragic and sad era one bit. So, why am I still lingering here? What am I still holding on to?
No.
This will only take 5 seconds. Too
Classic.
easy.
Too far.
Acacia, I'll need your cooperation for the next part of the project.
Don't bother lying to me. You're going to deal with me, aren't you?
You... Shh. Did you overhear something?
It's written all over your face. Do I have any other options? Am I going to die?
No. I'll put you into a hibernation capsule. We'll awaken you as soon as the project restarts. I guarantee it. It'll be in no time.
How long is no time? 1 month? 1 year?
It won't be more than a few months. Trust me.
I knew from the start that she couldn't keep that promise. But to keep the fear away, I had to make myself believe her. It's okay, Acacia. There's still hope. It'll only be a few months. You won't have to wait long. But as I watched the hibernation capsule's door slowly close, I couldn't help but think, please, don't leave me here alone. Please, can anyone help me?
Not at all. I like this. I like this story. It's nice. It's quite soothing. Oh. Kaguya. I don't have any... I wish I leveled you up, but I don't have resources.
They found that machine in a pile of debris. It's still functioning normally.
Isn't this a hibernation pod? I think I just pressed a random button. Name Acacia. Number of days in hibernation, 10,000 and... is this machine broken or am I seeing things?
This must be when they first found my pod. The adjutant was the first person I met in this new era. He was also the first person willing to actually talk to me. Everyone else only cared about where I came from and what experiment I belonged to. Only he sat and shared the snacks I took from the vending machine. Only he listened as I talked about silly things like being bitten by a mutated spider or exposed to gamma radiation. But in that moment, the helplessness in me eased up a little. Only a little, though. Because every unfamiliar face, every unfamiliar aspect of this era reminded me that I had been left behind. This memory must have been from the time we went out to uproot the tree. I volunteered to stay behind and promised the adjutant I'd make it back before the comms went down completely. I remember how dark it was that night, how the snow raged and the wind howled. The cold was bitter enough to freeze everything solid. Maybe it was the harshness of it all. But for the first time in a long while, that old feeling crept back. The same loneliness I felt waking alone in the pod after 30 years. To a world where all my ties had vanished.
It's a long time.
So that's what it is. I'm still clinging to this place because I don't want to be alone again. That's why I've been desperately holding on to anything that ties me to the past. Painting them over in my memories to make them seem better than they really are. I even started to see myself as a relic of the old era. I'm scared that if I change, what little that remains of the past will vanish for good. Perhaps that's why I couldn't master the power of the transphase core. Now that I finally understand, what do I do next? Right. The adjutant told me to think about something even better than the past. The person by my side, and the future that's yet to come.
I might fail the time for this. Would you look at that? Never got to use Kaguya.
Adjutant, come help me test out the new version of Star Master. This time, you'll be an explorer, fighting aliens with your light sword. You'll search every inch of the planet and finally reunite with your beloved Lady Acacia. What do you think? Pretty neat, huh? Ever since you became my personal test player, I've felt much more motivated to develop my games. I really want to show you how much I've improved as a producer. Alrighty then, sit tight and have fun. I'll go make you the best bowl of tonkotsu ramen you've had yet. The adjutant must have seen through how I felt. That's why he kept me company and did all that fun stuff with me. It wasn't the afterglow of a bygone era that lit up my lonely days. It was his affection and his love. At the Heliora Sea Hotel, the adjutant told me he wanted to play with me next time. When making Builder Island, he thanked me for coming to his world. He's always so sincere. Always telling me exactly how he feels about me. Just thinking about it makes my heart race. Compared to what he's done for me, I've done so little for him. Too little. Dev fund secured.
I just realized she has infinite ammo.
Noobs.
Or bottomless mag.
The old me built a world where I could be happy alone with all those hobbies. But now, I have someone to share my happiness with. And those hobbies of mine have become even more fun because of the adjutant. I'm no longer alone. And because of that, I don't need to cling to the past anymore. I want to tell him all of this. To answer his love, truly, sincerely. If there's anything I can do for the adjutant, it starts with living up to the faith that he put in me. It's time for me to leave this place and break the chains.
Q. Oh, it's time.
He's waiting for me. He's waiting for me to return to that era meant for the both of us. I won't lose my way again.
Look at that.
Glad you like it, darling.
Oh good, I had plenty of time. Sweet. Let me take a quick break. Real quick, I'll be back. I have returned. Progress 8. Oh boy. After Acacia left that little manga shop, I couldn't sense her mental projection anywhere in her inner mind. Normally, that meant she'd descended into the deepest layer of her consciousness, where she'd have to face the final hold of Circe's suggestion on her own. She had to walk the rest of the path by herself. But after that promise, I had complete faith she'd break free of the suggestion.
Promise you'll be there waiting for me in the future.
I promise. As I slipped out of her inner mind, and that sensation of sticky heaviness faded away, first things I felt were the cool, gentle breeze of the real world, and the warmth of the sun, along with a triumphant little chuckle. Wow, manifested. And look at that. Look at you. Ah. You know, you really do look like... When I opened my eyes, Acacia was looking at me with a gentle warmth. But she was no longer the petite girl she used to be. She'd grown noticeably taller, her long, ash-gray hair now falling almost to her waist. Her exosuit had reshaped itself as she grew, its sleek lines fitting her new form perfectly. Even with her more mature appearance, the girl standing before me was still the same Acacia I knew. Catching me staring, she grew a little self-conscious, tucking a strand of hair behind her ear, and quickly looking away. Did you end up fully mastering your trans-face core while you were breaking free of the suggestion?
Pretty much. You could say it was a lucky little bonus. I suppose I've been turning away from the exosuit's power without even realizing it, simply because I resisted change.
Change is hard.
And that mindset fit perfectly with the suggestion Circe planted in me. So, I ended up breaking through both at once this time.
Look at you.
Don't you think I deserve a little praise?
You did really well. That's my Acacia. I reached out instinctively, meaning to ruffle her hair like I always did, but out of habit, my hand ended up hovering around her chest instead. She let out a soft little laugh, then dipped her head, nudging into my hand like a kitten, letting me pet her just the way I always did.
Come on, ask me how I pulled it off.
Alright. How did you pull it off? Her smile stayed, but her eyes slowly grew serious, a solemn look settling in them.
After saying goodbye to you inside my inner mind, I lingered there for a long, long time, revisiting days that were long gone as a bystander. I didn't resist change because the past was all that great. What truly scared me was the thought that after that era disappeared, I'd be the only one left behind. So I clung to the past with everything I had, as if holding on to it meant I wouldn't be alone. I even thought that if I changed too, then that whole era would just disappear for good. But in the end, it was all because I didn't want to be alone.
Even the wind seemed to pause around us. A faint blush warmed her cheeks, but she didn't look away. She just watched me, intent and earnest.
So, what I want to say is, Adjutant, thank you for loving me. And thank you for always being by my side. It doesn't matter which era I end up in anymore. Because the only future I want is the one with you in it. Just like the promise we made.
Really nice. When she finished, she held out her hand again, her pinky curling slightly, her eyes bright with expectation. Reach out! Our pinkies touched, then curled and hooked together. About that letter. Just like that, we completed the promise we'd made in another era. That promise drew us even closer, like an invisible red thread of fate. Yeah. Then, out of habit, she rose onto her tiptoes, only for her lips to brush the tip of my nose instead.
Huh? Muscle memory. I keep forgetting I don't have to stretch that high to kiss you anymore.
She tilted her head slightly and pressed her lips softly to mine. Time seemed to freeze around us, our warmth blending together as we kissed. When we didn't snap back to reality until we heard Cersei hurrying toward us. We didn't snap back to reality until we heard Cersei hurrying toward us.
Chief, Acacia, did you two?
Yep. We broke free of the suggestion. The residents of Chongfu Street should be waking up soon, right?
You actually did it? That's unbelievable.
By the way, Cersei, where's Marion? I looked around, but Marion was nowhere in sight. Cersei hesitated, unease flickering across her face.
A few minutes ago, we ran into Sophie.
3 minutes earlier! After Acacia entered her inner mind, she looked like she'd simply fallen asleep. She sat quietly on the bench, her head propped on one hand, her breathing slow and steady. Cersei, meanwhile, was a bundle of worry, her brows nearly tied in a knot.
Don't worry. The adjutant and Acacia will return safely.
Her tone was surprisingly light, in stark contrast to Cersei's anxiety.
Why? Are you so sure?
Don't you think having someone you care about believe in you is a kind of strength in its own right? When the person you care about has faith in you, you can't help wanting to live up to their expectations. And if that faith is something one of a kind, something meant only for you, the strength it gives you becomes even greater.
As she spoke, Marion's eyes and voice grew softer.
I know Acacia feels the same way I do. We don't ever want to let the adjutant down, so we give everything we have to make it happen.
Is that so?
Cersei nodded thoughtfully, as though she were trying for the first time to understand the kind of strength people can give each other. As she was turning Marion's words over in her mind, a ragged figure suddenly slipped across the far end of the street.
That was Sophie.
What?
Marion snapped her gaze in the same direction. The figure had already slipped around the corner, but her instincts told her someone had definitely been there.
I'll go after her. You stay here and wait for the adjutant and Acacia to wake up.
But what are you planning to do?
Cersei was so flustered she could barely get her words out, her fingers tightening around the fabric of her skirt. Marion paused, sighed softly, and gave her a reassuring look.
Time flows differently inside the inner mind. What may feel long to them will be a brief moment for us. For all we know, the adjutant and Acacia could return within seconds. When they do, follow the beacons I left and catch up to me. And don't worry, I know I'm no match for Sophie. I'll keep my presence concealed and track her from a distance. I won't engage her head-on.
In the next instant, Marion leapt up onto the eaves. In a few swift steps, she crossed the rooftops and vanished into the winding streets ahead. Cersei took a few hurried steps after her before she even realized it. But Marion was far too fast. In the blink of an eye, she was already a shrinking speck in the distance. Cersei came to a stop, watching the silhouette fade as a knot of emotions tightened in her chest.
You become brave because someone you care about believes in you. And you give everything you have because you don't want to let them down. Then maybe I could do that too?
God damn it, Mia. trying to be serious here. 3 actions, okay. We're in. Let's use mine. Yeah, let's use mine. Let's do this.
I won't let anyone get near you, Adjutant. Didn't anyone teach you how to give purpose to your pain?
Don't really know how to efficiently play her, but she is designated as support. Oh my god, I didn't even see this dude.
If they're all down, who's cleaning this up?
Completely blindsided me, I didn't even see him. Jeez. I'm drinking coffee too, I should have seen that.
I'll give purpose to your pain.
What the hell? This guy should be dead and... Hang on.
It's yours. I've no need for such things.
Regular shots are weak. Wait, Marion, when do you get your glow up?
It looks like Sophie's headed for the coastal district. If we take a speedboat, we should catch up to her faster.
Oh, so...
All done, boss.
Okay. Okay, this is new. Wait. Loading hazards? Yellow zones only. Okay. Let's go! Let's go! The boat's got a HP. Would you look at this? Ah, would you look at that? This is cool! Oh my goodness, they could really make this game huge if they wanted. But they'd have to fill it up with things to do. That's actually fun and not feel so... How do you say? Chore. Feel like a chore.
A waterfall.
Whee! This is pretty nice. No physics for the landing, of course. It's still cool though. This is nice. How far will you guys go with Snowbreak? But close to shore.
Allow me to take care of them.
Good look at that. Can't you? Bam!
Thank goodness we didn't capsize.
Oh, we're good. Oh, whoop, missed it. Wanted to break these boats. Oh, I did on collision. Oh, what?
After admiring Lucanon's gorgeous cityscape, are you curious about its history?
Your lovely
As
sister.
a seaside city, Lucanon experienced a devastating flood even before the descent. Beside you is the submerged ruins of the old district.
Strange. I'm sure I turned it off. Why is it playing again?
That was nice. It's new, I can't. Love it. Keep going, devs. Make this game full-fledged.
This won't hurt.
Go as far as you can. As far as you can.
It's yours. I've no need for such things.
Nice try. Oh. Wait, this is another new enemy. I just noticed that. Cool. I like that.
Just a moment. done in no time. All done, boss.
Nice. Sweet.
I still want more.
I forgot about that. Victory.
I want you to witness any wounds I may get, Adjutant.
God.
Adjutant, we've got to catch up to Marion quick.
How about I take you to a shortcut? This way.
Now, who's cleaning this up?
No, Cersei. I'm glad we're on the same side again.
Just a moment. I'll have it done in no
I
time.
mean, we were. We still are. Just glad you cleared up the air.
It's yours. I've no need for such things.
I still feel like you're still the main boss.
This won't hold.
A waterway again. And not even a bridge we can cross.
The device over there controls the water level. We can use that to get across.
Hey, you really know your stuff.
If you could watch my back.
What the fuck? How the hell do you drain all that water? Everything man-made in this estate?
This won't hold. It's there all now. Who's cleaning this up?
I still hope that your new version of you is a DPS.
Just a moment. I'll have it done in no time.
I wouldn't be surprised if you ended up, if it's a support. And that's fine with me. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with that. I just would like everybody
You look really hurt.
in the cast.
Must have been fun.
I'd like everybody in the cast to kick ass by themselves. Kick ass efficiently.
I'll give purpose to your pain.
Efficiently. And deadly.
If they're all down, who's cleaning this up?
It's too bad. I wish I wish this could pass through multiple opponents. That would have been nice.
Just a moment. I'll have it done in no time. I'd appreciate it if you could watch my back.
Oh, the water's back.
All done, boss. I'll give purpose to your pain.
Wait a minute. I was just thinking. I have a bunch of saved up manifestation shards. I know the new wifey. That's exactly who I'm gonna use it on. And whoever comes out with her.
It's yours. I've no need. I can take more.
Yeah.
This won't hurt.
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Drown in the abyss.
Nice.
You look really hurt. Must have been fun.
Super thick.
Just a moment. I'll have it done in no time. All done, boss.
Oh.
I still want more.
I didn't see her in there. Wait. Ah, shit.
I want you to witness any wounds I may get, Adjutant.
I didn't realize Acacia was here.
Time for some exercise.
Fuck!
Adjutant, I found the beacons Marion left behind. She can't be that far away. Noobs.
That's that future version of
Trans-phase force.
There
Full
you go.
moon. Slash. Dev fund secured. Yeah.
it. So cool. I really can't wait to get you.
Yeah.
Nice. Really knock down that column. Shoot this thing or use? Oh, shoot. Oh, use. Oh! What the? Why did you go all the way there for? Oh.
Trans-phase.
Nice. I'm gonna get you in your signature. Definitely. I really fuck with the sword.
Special targets appearing in mass outbreaks. Noobs. Yeah. Now this is getting interesting. Dev
Nice.
fund secured.
My god, why didn't I think to dodge with Acacia yesterday?
Mission accomplished. Let's save, darling.
Oh, that's ethereal. Jeez, I didn't think to dodge when I first trialed her. What the fuck? It's so cool. Ah, she could fly there herself, man.
Special targets appearing in mass outbreaks. Huh. Slash.
Celestial being. Why would you put a turret here?
Darling, let's send them all to Builder Island.
Acacia's here.
Trans-phase core. Wing. Now this is getting interesting. Yeah. Pass me the ammo, darling.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna
Dev
switch
fund
that.
secured. Trans-phase.
Ah!
Noobs. Darling, let's send them all to Builder Island. Now this is getting interesting.
Nice.
Let's start around, darling.
Haha. It is a nice Covenant outfit. The sea off the Lukalin coast held a beauty all on its own. Is everything still working, by the way? It is. Its waters were a clear, vivid blue, and when sunlight touched them, it shattered into countless glittering shards. Sophie stood at the shoreline for a long while, listening to the waves crash against the rocks as the breeze tugged at the frayed hem of her robe. She didn't move, still as carved stone. No one could see the fierce turmoil churning inside the newborn god. If she had a choice, she wouldn't hurt anyone. She wouldn't let this beautiful city fall to ruin. All she had ever wished for was a world where everyone could find happiness. But now, no other path remained. To save the future of many, she would have to sacrifice the few. She pulled a small remote detonator from her pocket, her fingertips brushing over it again and again. With a single press, an orbital beam would lance down from Mistelton Station, releasing a massive surge of energy into the tranquil sea.
Mr. Adjutant, please don't let me down.
What the fuck you talking about?
Let it all end quickly.
She prayed silently that Andra would understand her and stand with her before it was too late. It was the only way to stop what was coming. By this point, there was no turning back for her.
Trigger a massive flood in Lukalon. Plunge the people into deeper despair. And use your oracle to herd them toward Ulster's tree? Not bad at all. I didn't think you'd come up with something this creative. Then I'll grant you authorization for 2 orbital beams. They're easy enough to intercept. But my calculations show the seabed beneath Lucalan is laughably fragile. Sophie, do try not to disappoint me.
The power to unleash the flood wasn't really a gift from Edda. It was a bargaining chip Sophie had won through deception.
I need to set the groundwork for a new promised land before Edda catches on.
Lost in her thoughts, she sensed a faint disturbance in the air behind her. Without turning, she spoke in a steady, quiet voice.
Is that Miss Marion of the Heimdall Force? Did the adjutant not come with you?
Standing on a wall, Marion froze. Even with Riptide cloaking her so perfectly, Sophie still spotted her.
There's no need for alarm. I won't hurt you. My purpose has never changed. To show the adjutant just how powerless humanity is in the face of absolute catastrophe. And how desperately it needs salvation. So, is he nearby?
It was just a simple greeting, yet Marion felt an intense pressure that was hard to explain. Her hairline slick with cold sweat.
No answer? That's alright. Your presence alone is answer enough. Very well. Let the prelude begin.
Sophie pressed the button with casual ease, as if she were just toying with a trinket. Her gaze drifted past the horizon, distant and vacant, as if she were looking down on all humanity from a great height, her eyes filled with pity and a chilling detachment. Marion didn't know what the remote would trigger, but the cold, offhand way Sophie pressed it drew a panicked cry from her.
No!
In 10 minutes, an orbital beam will strike Lucalan. Of course. I know cathode technology's capabilities. Stopping this single beam shouldn't be difficult. But I should warn you. The seafloor beneath Lucalan is extremely fragile. Even the slightest impact would be enough to trigger an undersea quake.
Tractor beam. Sophie's voice was soft and steady. It sounded less like she was announcing a catastrophe and more like telling a bedtime story.
Miss Marion, I understand you've already become the head of House Andreotti. You must care deeply for the people of Lucalan, don't you?
She tilted her head slightly, her tattered robe fluttering in the wind. For all her ragged appearance, she somehow looked gentle, almost merciful.
Please, speak to the adjutant for me. Instead of letting these people suffer such a cruel fate, let me grant them release.
And with that, Sophie vanished, too fast for Marion to follow.
10 minutes.
She whispered the number to herself over and over, while Sophie sent a different expression as she pressed the remote replayed in her mind. Sheer fury surging through her left her whole body cold, until a warm hand settled on her back, steady and reassuring. You alright?
Adjutant, you're here. Sophie just said...
I heard everything. Marion, contact your family. Tell them to activate the emergency plan. Acacia, with me. We're heading to the coast to monitor the situation. Cersei, your manifestation isn't suited for this. Get somewhere safe and stay there.
Understood.
Okay.
Once I finished giving orders, the girls all sprang into action. By then, a blazing red beam was already streaking across the sky.
We're still too late.
Tractor beam. At least many civilians have already evacuated Lucalan. Our efforts weren't in vain. Judging from the scale of that orbital strike, this will be more than just a flood.
Adjutant, What do you mean?
Lucalan is about to be hit by a tsunami. At that, Marian's finger trembled as it hovered over the terminal. Before she could dial out, a call from Miss Andriotti came in. Steeling herself, Marian did her best to keep her voice steady.
Marian, I heard a drone just spotted you and Sophie on the shoreline. Leave that area at once. I'm sending a helicopter to pick you up.
That won't be necessary, Mother.
Marian, this is no time to be stubborn. What good will staying there do? What matters is that you stay alive.
In 7 minutes, an orbital beam from Misteltein Station will set off a tsunami. Both the family and Cathode Tech need someone on the front lines to take command. That's why I have to stay.
She fixed her gaze on the red dot that's growing bigger by the second. Its blazing trail tore through the clouds, hurtling toward the sea with devastating force. With a deafening crash, the beam slammed into the water, and the ground beneath them shook violently.
Marian, are you alright?
Oh wow, damn.
I'm fine. In fact, I've never felt this alive.
Her voice was shaky at first, but it grew steadier with every word, clear and unwavering, even over the howling wind and the roar of the blast.
As head of House Andriotti, it is my duty to stand on the front lines and protect the people of Lucalan. I'll hold this line, not a single step back.
Out on the horizon, a colossal wall of water gathered, climbing ever higher, as if it were ready to swallow the sky whole. Having finally spoken her mind, Marian felt much of her unease melt away. In its place surged a fierce desire, a desire to control and dominate everything.
I know you and Father always wanted me to be a carefree young noblewoman, someone who could live her life safely and comfortably under your care. But the adjutant saw the defiance inside me, and he believes I can do this. I won't betray that trust. I have to see this through and become who I truly want to be.
Marian.
Mother, as the head of the house, I'm giving my first order to both the family and Cathode Tech. Activate every mobile floodgate. Hold that tsunami back with everything we've got. Now!
Woo! Very nice. Marian's roar reverberated in Miss Andriotti's chest. For as long as she could remember, her youngest daughter had never spoken with such force and absolute authority. And yet somehow, she felt this was exactly who Marian was meant to be, how the Andriotti bloodline was meant to shine through. That sense of being suppressed by Marian's aura, of no longer standing above her daughter, lingered. Mrs. Andriotti drew a deep breath and hurried to relay the order. As the order went out, 450 mobile floodgates rose from the seabed. Their engines roared with a deafening thunder. Massive steel barriers locked into position around the floating island. A second line of flood defense, following the catalytic freezing system. But Marian knew the floodgates could hold back only 3 meters of water. Against a tsunami triggered by an orbital beam strike, they could barely swallow it. A shrill alarm ripped through the air above Lucalan. Every screen and speaker in the city came online at once, all bearing the same message.
Attention residents. A life-threatening tsunami expected to reach 16 to 20 meters will strike the Lucalan coastline in 5 minutes.
God damn, that's high.
All residents must evacuate to higher ground immediately. This is a mandatory evacuation order. Repeat, this is a mandatory evacuation order.
The streets erupted in chaos. Screams, sobs, and desperate cries rose together in one overwhelming roar. But 5 minutes wasn't nearly enough. Before most could even reach safety, the water wall was already towering on the horizon, seeming to link sea and sky. The mobile floodgates buckled instantly under the tsunami's force, metal screeching as it tore. Gate after gate shattered, crashing to the sea in heaps of twisted metal.
Adjutant, what do we do now?
We raise our wall with Titagen, and we hold the wave back. Frozo! The moment I spoke, the oncoming tsunami slammed into the massive Taitogen barrier. Acacia and Marian stood on either side of me, channeling power into the barrier to reinforce our final line of defense. The clash unleashed a massive shockwave. Spray exploded skyward, shrouding the entire coastline in a blinding white haze. I could feel the Taitogen inside me depleting rapidly. After nearly a minute of standoff, the wave's force finally began to ebb. At last, the Taitogen barrier forced the towering water wall back, patterning it into countless smaller waves.
Did we make it?
The two girls could barely stay on their feet. Acacia doubled over, gasping for breath, while Marian braced herself against a nearby tree to stay on her feet. Raising a wall big enough to protect an entire city had left me drained as well. I only had about 40% of my Taitogen left. But my instincts told me this was far from over.
Truly impressive, Mr. Adjutant. I didn't expect you to hold back a tsunami by sheer will alone.
As we caught our breath, Sophie quietly appeared behind us again, as if she'd been there the whole time.
Sophie.
Marian spun around, eyes blazing with fury, barely holding herself back from lunging at the woman who had nearly brought her homeland to ruin.
Please, compose yourself, Miss Marian. There is still so much left for you to face. What you just stopped was merely a prelude.
Wait, Sophie. This cruelty, is it truly the right way? Sophie froze. She fell silent for a long moment, and at last, 2 tears slid down her cheeks. What the fuck are you crying for now?
In truth, I never wished for this tsunami, nor the ruins soon to come upon Lukalon.
I know Edda's pulling your strings, but come on.
I shall mourn every life lost today. But to save the many, I must allow this to happen. Doesn't this disaster remind you of Juvosis, Mr. Adjutant? The only difference is how quickly its consequences come, and how plainly they show themselves. You've already done so much. The mass evacuation, using Taitogen to stop the tsunami. Now, your Taitogen is nearly spent, yes? You think you glimpsed hope, but what awaits you is the next orbital strike. Just as the Balder inhibitor was never the true cure for Juvosis. You know you cannot stop it, and yet you let them go on struggling, leaving them to suffer in terror and despair. That is the real cruelty. If you choose to help me, they can be saved at this very moment under the guidance of a new god. They can be led toward a place where happiness is assured. Join me, Mr. Adjutant. With your choice, their suffering can at last come to an end.
Did you not see his fight with Rosen and whatnot? Rosen offered the same thing. Come on, Sophie. You mean there's a second strike? Sophie said nothing. Her silence was his own answer. A gentle smile touched her lips, quietly expectant, almost beseeching.
So, what is your answer, Mr. Adjutant?
God, why are you doing this? While Sophie still waited for my reply, a figure stumbled out from the shoreline. Judging by her attire, she was one of Lukalin's pilgrims. No one knew how she survived the tsunami wave. The way she scrambled away in a blind panic told me she wasn't nearly as devout as she'd like to think. Shaken to her core by the tsunami, she overheard Sophie's words, and her first instinct was to snatch up a stone, fling it at her, and bolt away screaming. The stone grazed her cheek, leaving a shallow mark. See? Death is staring them in the face. Everyone fights to survive, even your followers. If humanity ever accepts your plan for them, it will only be because you left them no choice. Not out of belief, but coercion. My answer hasn't changed. Humanity isn't as weak as you think, and we don't need a god dictating our fate. Even if you drown Lucalan, what exactly would that prove? Outside Lucalan, there will always be people who won't bow to you, and you will never become a god anyone would worship. Sophie's composure finally wavered, a faint trace of disappointment breaking through.
You really are stubborn. Perhaps because you've never truly known despair. Never heard the cries of the weak for yourself, Mr. Adjutant.
Kinda has.
Then today, you will.
Oh, come on, bitch.
In 30 minutes, the second orbital strike will launch. There is still time, if you wish to reconsider. I hope you can look past your pride, as I have, and show mercy to every soul. I will not flee. If you change your mind, we can still walk this path together.
She turned and walked to a spot with a clear view of the sea. She stood there, watching us in silence.
Adjutant, should we take her down now?
No. Our remaining strength is already stretched thin. Our priority is to survive the second surge.
Adjutant, how are you feeling?
I'm fine, but I only have 40% of my Tytogen left. Putting up another wall that size will be difficult.
Marion! Hey, Marion!
As we searched for a plan, a familiar voice cut through the tense air. Madeline came running toward us, lugging a huge case with both hands.
Madeline, what are you doing here? Don't tell me Mother sent you to take me away. I already said.
No way. As if I'm strong enough to save any of you. I'm just here to drop something off. Once I do, I'm gone. Not staying a second longer.
What is it?
Madeline hurriedly punched in the code. Lines of light flared across the surface of the case, and its panels slid open, revealing what lay inside. Inside was neither a weapon nor a shield, but a brand new exosuit. Would you look at that? This is where you get it?
What's this?
It's the exosuit made for the next head of House Andriotti and Cathode Tech's future executive chair. Oh, and there's a letter inside. Make sure you read it.
Given how tense things were, Madeline didn't waste any time. As soon as she was done, she grabbed the rope ladder hanging from the helicopter, climbed up, and was gone. Still confused, Marion tore open the envelope and skimmed the letter.
Marion, as your father, I'm sorry that I must speak my heart this way, through a letter, rather than with the courage you deserve.
Oh.
This exosuit was built for the head of our family, outfitted with every cutting-edge system Cathode Technologies could offer. From the moment the idea took shape, I knew it would be yours one day. But as your parents, we couldn't bear to see you carry such a heavy burden. That's why we kept this suit from you for so long. We only wished for you to live a carefree life. We never realized that our protection had become something that held you back. And we're sorry we failed to see what you truly wanted. But what happened today made one truth unmistakable. You were always destined to become the eagle who soars beside the adjutant and shields Lucalan with your own wings. If this is the path you've chosen, then let your family be the wind beneath your wings. And may our support carry your soaring heart farther than you could ever go alone.
The letter ended with the family's former head's signature, stamped with her deep red signet. At the bottom, a few cramped lines in another hand had been hastily scribbled in at the last moment.
P.S. Dad has no sense of style whatsoever, so I did the design myself.
Wow.
When you sweep the adjutant off his feet, don't forget who deserves the credit. PPS. Turns out my real interest is only in tourism after all. So please hurry up and save the world already. My career depends on it.
Honestly, what kind of big sister talks like that?
Marion grumbled under her breath, but her eyes were already misting over. She'd always told herself their approval didn't matter. But now, with their support and the old barrier between them finally gone, she felt a courage he had never felt before. This tactical suit couldn't have arrived at a better time. Go on, try it on. You look at that. Wow. Once she was fully suited, up behind a projected optical curtain, really, Marion realized what set this armor apart. The external flight units snapped open, releasing a surge of thrust that lifted her off the ground, allowing her to truly soar. Watching from the shadowed corner of her wall, Cersei felt a small pang of envy at the wings. Oh, unfurling behind Marion. Oh boy.
Acacia and Marion are both standing by the chief in their new forms.
Crack. Perhaps due to the earlier shockwave, fine cracks began to spread across the wall. The whole building was starting to sway. She stayed put. As long as she could see him, that corner felt safer than anywhere else.
To raise another barrier, he'd need a huge amount of titagen.
Don't tell me you're gonna generate it. It's a boss. As she muttered to herself, the memory of what being flooded had felt like came rushing back. You're gonna do it, aren't you? You're gonna flood, spring out titagen, and have him. Okay, thanks a lot. If she could trigger the flooding on her own, would that be enough to produce more titagen? As she stared at the three figures standing by the shoreline, a bold idea began to take shape in Cersei's mind. Don't do this. Much kinder and stronger than you think, and a lot closer to me than you realize. So, would you like to try standing with me this time?
I want to try to fight by his side for once. He said he believes in me, so I should at least try to live up to it, right?
She took a deep breath, closed her eyes, and began calling out to her Deimos over and over.
Aparte, can you hear me? I willingly offer my mind and soul to you. All I ask is that you become stronger than ever before. So you can help him for me, and give him the strength to face this disaster.
Wouldn't that take a toll on you? You better not die when this is all over.
Please, goddess of deceit, Aparte.
A tremendous power surged from deep within her, finally answering her prayers. Golden light flared through her body, weaving together with her rose-pink glow as her form turned translucent and an amber sheen spread across her skin. Bathed in a radiance that could only be described as divine, she could no longer remain hidden in that little corner. Her fiery gaze locked onto me. She began walking toward us, her steps deliberate and steady. Cersei?
She's flooded. Again?
It's okay. This time, the choice is mine.
There was a faint, ethereal echo in her voice now, but her eyes were still clear.
If I become a demiurge, I should be able to give you much more titagen, right? I want to try. For you, Chief. To protect everything you're trying to protect.
A pinkish violet gel-like substance began to seep from her hair, writhing as it engulfed her and drew tight around her, forming a huge cocoon. The cocoon hovered in midair, bubbling now and then with a low, wet gurgle. Strange, intricate patterns crawled across its surface, golden motes drifting through its seams. Her voice grew faint, breaking through in scattered, broken fragments.
If only I'd been this brave 6 years ago. But it's all right. I'm not too late.
Cersei, no!
If I lose myself completely,
Oh, jeez.
kill me. And use the Titagen inside me to summon a wall again.
Adjutant, what do we do?
I can't let her risk her life like this. Find a way to cut that cocoon open now.
Understood.
Great. Is it boss time? It is! Alright, let's do this. Team? Should be the adjutant here. Alright. Well, it's gonna be mostly you, Acacia, doing the work.
Marion, cover me!
Got it.
Huh? Game start.
Glistening.
Yeah. Transphase core. Wax. Pya. Transphase. Cease. Slash. Take one. Take all. Transphase core. Wing. Pass me the ammo, darling.
Cease. If only.
Damn! Shit! You got a body on you.
The power that mortals crave.
Ooh!
Stop. Why?
Flash. Transphase.
No,
Damn, she big,
was
man.
not how it was meant to end.
Do you mean? God!
Cease.
Shit!
Yeah.
One more time.
Flash. Yeah.
Oh, it really feels good to, what's it called, utilize her whole kit in a manner like this. It feels so good.
Don't forget to save.
Even after everything, you still want to save me. Chief, you really are so gentle.
Glad you like it, darling.
Damn. Can't wait to get you. Whew. Like that. The sea surged, waves roiling below as Cersei fell from the sky into my arms.
I'm not dead.
God.
I didn't lose my mind.
You crazy?
All this Titagen. Is it enough?
Her faint murmurs faded with the breeze, then a soft, otherworldly hum drifted through the air. As that familiar melody rose around us, Cersei slowly closed her eyes. A tiny speck of light slipped free from her chest like a lost firefly, drifting into the distance.
Cersei. Cersei.
No matter how many times we called her name, the girl in my arms didn't respond.
Adjutant, is she?
She's still breathing. It looks more like she's just asleep. This singing. It has to be Sophie. She must have done something to Cersei. As we spoke, the second beam tore through the sky and slammed into the seabed. A violent burst of energy rippled outward. The sea, calm only moments ago, rushed back at the terrifying speed, burying the black sea floor in its jagged reefs.
Adjutant, it's an underwater landslide. The second tsunami will hit even harder.
Ooh. Get Cersei somewhere safe, and evacuate the civilians. Get them to the highest ground you can.
What about you?
Trust me, I'll find a way. The worry in their eyes was unmistakable. Neither of them wanted to leave my side. Even so, after a brief hesitation, they chose to follow my orders. Acacia hefted Cersei onto her shoulder and sprinted ahead, clearing a route toward the shelters by sheer speed and force. Aryan unfurled her black wings to their full span and swept through the skies above the city, guiding the evacuation from the air. Once they disappeared from view, I turned back toward the horizon, where a wall of water, even higher than the last, was slowly rising into view. Howling winds drove curtains of spray across the coast. The air felt thick, heavy with a suffocating pressure. It was as if the whole world lay beneath the shadow of that towering wall of water. I'd sworn to them I'd find a way, but standing here now, it felt as if every option had slipped through my fingers. A 20-meter wave was more than enough to swallow the entire city. Even with the Titagen Cersei gave me, there was no way I could summon another barrier to hold back such an enormous wave. Mobile floodgates, mass evacuations, catalytic freezing device. If none of that would work, then what else could I do? Hundreds of simulations flashed through my mind in rapid succession, each one dismissed as quickly as it appeared. Is there really nothing I can do? 20 minutes earlier. God, I do not want to hear your voice right now. From the moment the alarm began blaring, the abacus inside the moonlit retreat hadn't stopped clacking for a single second. At a time like this, that steady, monotonous rhythm offered a shred of comfort. Even so, the merchants outside the beaded curtains were far from calm. Anyone could tell this deal was going to be a catastrophic loss, and their president, of all people, certainly understood that.
Ma'am, we should take the helicopter and leave as soon as possible. This isn't a flood, it's a tsunami! Even if we deploy every gondola and every heat barrel we have, there's no way we can freeze the entire surface of the sea!
Long Yan's voice drifted out from behind the beaded curtains, soft and impossibly calm.
How many gondolas can the chamber deploy?
At most, maybe 7,800 units.
7,800. I see.
Murmuring the number under her breath, Longyan shifted her gaze toward the hologram beside her. It was a live feed, streamed back by a drone. The gale and tower waves were closing in fast on the shore, and there stood Andro, alone at the very front, refusing to yield. With a catastrophe of that scale looming over the city, his figure seemed almost insignificant. And still, she found herself unable to look away. He wasn't just protecting Lukalon. He was standing guard over the homes of countless people, their past, their present, their future. Watching the land that had raised and shaped their teeter on the brink of destruction, a knot of grief and anger tightened in Longyan's chest. She couldn't just stand by and watch. The future of Lukalon had to be defended by the people who called this place home.
I've never had the heart to watch a hero brought low, or a gentle soul turned cold. Even if this ends as a losing venture, it's one I'm willing to see through.
She drew a long breath, and when she spoke again, her voice had turned clear and resolute.
Fit every gondola the chamber owns with heat barrels. Set them to unmanned mode, and send them straight to the coast. And not just the gondolas. Ships, barges, rafts. If it can float, put it to use.
Through the gossamer drapes, Longyan couldn't just make out the merchants' faces. Each one nodded with hesitation and worry.
But that's the very foundation of the chamber.
A soft chuckle escaped her lips, yet a chill swept through the room. The beaded curtains quivered without wind, and an invisible pressure seeped from behind them.
If Lukalon falls, what foundation is there to speak of? Should we survive this calamity, I, Longyan, shall carry the burden of these losses myself. Even at the cost of all I own, I will repay each of you in full.
Damn, okay. Shit.
Ma'am.
Release the boats.
The order fell like a thunderclap. Out on the sea, before that colossal wave, small gondolas began appearing one after another. Then more and more. 1, 10, 100, 1,000, until they formed a line of defense standing between Lukalon and the oncoming wall of water. At the same time, every drone Cathode Technologies could command took to the air, releasing nanocrystal catalysts across the sea in massive quantities. Silver powder poured like torrential rain, and at last, a fine layer of ice crystals began forming across the surface. But the instant they formed, the oncoming waves shattered them again without mercy. See? Even in the depths of despair, humanity refuses to give up.
And what good is any of that supposed to do?
God, you fucking dumb bitch. More than you realize. To give up from the start is to snuff out any chance of survival with our own hands. But because no one gave up, that chance endured. And now I see it.
In essence, this system disperses nanocrystal catalyst into the water, while directing excess heat into the heat barrels positioned along the city's perimeter. The barrels are ferried by boat, and once they have absorbed sufficient heat, they are dispatched into the open sea.
I would not have remembered that, because I just couldn't help but shut up. Nanocrystal catalyst, heat transfer, heat barrels. What if I followed the same principle, but replaced the nanocrystal catalyst with titogen? I had barely 40% of my titogen left, but combined with what Cersei had just released, a plan began to form in my mind. I think I'm getting a little jittery. It's a lot of coffee I drank. As the giant wave loomed overhead, Sophie had to invoke her manifestation power just to carry her voice across the distance to me.
Mr. Adjutant, even now, at the very end, you still refuse to accept that I am right?
Did the same thing with Rose, and what the hell do you think to accomplish here? Sophie, I'll say this one last time. Humanity is far less fragile than you think. And we will never compromise for happiness built on a lie. Ooh, I wanted to scream that line, but I miss you so much. In my battle with Rosen, I had learned how to manipulate Tytogen at a microscopic scale. You better thank her, bitch ass. Nanoparticles derived from solid-state Tytogen could serve as the perfect substitute for the original catalyst. Tytogen burst from my body and mingled with the Tytogen lingering in the air, gathering into a rose-tinted mist that drifted downward and blanketed the waves. Each Tytogen nanoparticle became a nucleation core. Water molecules surged toward them, clustering, aligning, freezing into place. Next, I need to convert every nanoparticle in the sea from matter to energy. Restoring that heat. There's only one place larger than the ocean. Space! Certain atmospheric windows absorb almost no infrared at all. If I fire the Tytogen through them, the heat would vent straight into space. As the nanoparticle shifted into energy state Tytogen, the air above the sea began to ripple and distort with heat. What loomed before us wasn't water anymore. It looked like a giant hand poised to crash down, fueled by a wrath capable of shattering the world. People shut their eyes tight, holding their breath as they braced for the end. Yet even in that absolute despair, their hearts kept beating, stubbornly, defiantly. Thump thump, thump thump. In the very next instant. Yeah, bruh. The energy punched through the atmosphere. Searing light tore a jagged hole in the very storm clouds. In the heavy storm clouds. God. The sky itself burned like an oil painting set ablaze. The sea's surface flashed as white as ice, raced upward, raising the towering wave in mid-motion and trapping its form in crystal. The cold crawled further and farther, leaving Lukalon marooned at the center of a vast expanse of ice. I did it. I slowly lowered my hands. Every bit of Tytogen in my body was drained. If Sophie attacked now, I could only meet her with my own physical strength. But Sophie only stood beside me, stunned, her lips trembling as if she wanted to speak, yet no words came. This is humanity. We turn the impossible into reality. So take your salvation elsewhere. Don't need it. Sophie fell silent for a moment. The shock in her eyes slowly ebbed away.
I have to admit, you have shown me something truly extraordinary. But all you have done is use your strength to shield them from this one storm. What about the next time? Or when they have to face Juvosis? Still, I reflected on myself just now. I was too impatient and failed to truly convey the beauty of that promised land. Would you come with me and see it for yourself? Once you do, you'll understand what humanity truly needs.
She extended her hand toward me, palm up, an unmistakable invitation.
Come with me.
Light began to warp, sound grew distorted, even time itself began to waver. Sophie manifested her inner mind. I walked through the darkness for what felt like ages before a faint orange glow finally appeared ahead. Following that warm light, I soon found myself before a small cafe, standing alone in a stretch of untouched snow. The world around it was nothing but white. Snowflakes drifted quietly through the air, settling on the roof, on the windowsills, on the steps leading up to the door. It was clearly winter, and yet the place felt warm and cozy. Soft jazz and the rich aroma of coffee flowed through the glass and wrapped gently around me. I had no memory of ever coming here, but for some reason, the sight of it felt familiar. Sophie stood on the steps, each time a drifting snowflake floated her way. It simply veered aside before touching her. The warm golden light behind her cast a soft halo around her silhouette.
Over here, Mr. Adjutant.
As I approached, she said nothing more, just motioned for me to look inside the cafe. A girl with long, rose-pink hair sat at a table, both hands cupped around a warm mug of milk tea. A faint smile played across her face. Her gentle eyes rested on the window, as if waiting for the wooden door to open and set the bell above it chiming once more. So that's why Cersei won't wake up. You're holding her here.
That wording feels rather inappropriate, Mr. Adjutant.
How dare you?
Cersei is my friend. Allowing her to become one of the first residents here is my way of offering her kindness.
Is this infinite Tsukiyomi? Get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. So this is your so-called promised land?
Yes, I'm different from Edda. I care for humanity too deeply to send them to Valhalla, where they would lose everything that makes them human, only to meet their end stripped of dignity. What I've prepared is a sweet dream, tailored to each soul individually.
Infinite Tsukiyomi, then. Great.
For now, this vision exists only within my inner mind. But with your aid, it could one day become humanity's new haven.
Infinite Tsukiyomi and the Matrix. Ha 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 ha. As she spoke, her voice carried genuine emotion for once. Couldn't see her eyes from where I stood, but I could imagine the fiery resolve burning in her usually placid gaze. You mean, like a Valhalla, where everyone keeps their own sense of self? That's impossible. Not even Edda or Ganges possesses the processing power required for something like that.
It is possible. At the Yarus Federal Sanatorium, I made a small yet crucial discovery. By observing patients' brainwaves, I found that even in sleep, consciousness remains active, yet the brain bears only a minimal load. So long as we construct a different kind of Valhalla upon this finding, those drawn into the dream by my song can retain their sense of self, without the need for immense computational power.
If I had to choose the real world and the Matrix, I'd choose the Matrix.
This would be humanity's true dream, shaped beautifully for each soul.
I don't want to remember nothing. Nothing. Sophie glanced at Cersei, a quiet, satisfied smile touching her lips.
Look how happy she is. In this dream, she no longer waits in the snow, hoping you'll finally turn back. Here, every feeling she carries is heard, and her love reciprocated. Every painful memory she ever carried simply does not exist.
Is that so? That cold question was enough to send a faint ripple of doubt across Sophie's calm face.
Isn't it?
She turned and let her gaze sweep slowly across the cafe, searching yet finding nothing out of place. That little world behind the glass remained serene and perfect, exactly as she wished it to be.
It seems you truly cannot see the heart behind what I've tried to do. Then please, leave my inner mind, Mr. Adjutant. I sincerely hope that when you look back on this day, on the moment you turned away from a new world, you will not come to regret it too deeply. But by then, even if you wish to turn back, it will likely be far too late.
Sophie let out a quiet sigh and, with a gentle wave, cast me out of her inner mind. The dizziness began to ebb. My thoughts cleared, the smell of salt rushed back to my nose, and Lucalan's familiar shoreline came into view once more.
Adjutant!
The two girls reached me at once, collapsing into my arms in pure relief.
Adjutant, you really did it. That was incredible.
Well, I did ask you to trust me, so there's no way I could let you two down.
Then, what about Sophie?
She's gone. Slipped away while I was leaving her inner mind. And honestly, I'm in no condition to try and hold her right now.
Adjutant, Cersei's not doing so well. You should come take a look.
Led by the girls, I soon arrived at a makeshift shelter packed with evacuees. Until the Andriotti family finished their inspection, all anyone could do was wait here. Because the entire city had been frozen over, the shelter was bitterly cold. People could only huddle close to keep themselves warm. With tears still clung to their lashes, they struggled to suppress their panic, yet their lips forced faint smiles as they passed along warm water, food, silently supporting one another through their actions. Cersei lay in a corner, shielded by rings of people, bundled under layer after layer of borrowed clothing. A faint warmth colored her cheeks, her breaths steady and calm, as if she were simply asleep. But I knew better. The Cersei before me was only a shell. Her real self was trapped once again in that snow from all those years ago. Cersei, don't let Sophie's dream hold you. I know you can wake up from it. I believe in you. You fucking Matrix. I keep thinking of the Matrix and the ending. Back in the cafe, Cersei suddenly heard a faint, strange sound. But when she blinked and tried to focus, all she heard again was the soft, easy rise and fall of jazz.
Hello, miss. May I take your order? One milk tea, one coffee, please.
She was still wondering whether he even liked coffee when the waitress set a mug of milk tea down in front of her. She took a tentative sip, and her face fell at once.
It's cold.
Not just the drink. It felt as if everything around her had lost its warmth. Only the faintest trace of heat seemed to seep from her pocket. She reached in on instinct. A small, round ball rolled into her palm.
An Osawachi.
As she watched the soft, ethereal snow drifting outside the window, realization dawned on her. She finished the milk tea in one quick gulp, rose from her seat, and headed for the door. But the moment she pushed it open, those gentle white flurries of snow twisted into a raging blizzard. Wind hammered against the glass behind her with a sharp, keening wail.
The snow is getting worse. You should stay inside.
This is a worse version of the Matrix, Sophie. You could have done better.
The adjutant will be here any minute. You've been waiting for him, haven't you?
She stood at the cafe door without even looking back at Cersei, as if she were completely certain the girl would close the door and return to that warm dream.
I have to go.
And with that, she stepped out into the blizzard. Watching that fragile figure stagger through the whipping snow, Sophie could no longer hold back the question in her heart.
Why? What's wrong with this perfect dream? Why would you choose to wake from it?
There's nothing wrong with it. Just like you said, it's perfect. But that's exactly why I realized it was just a dream.
Yeah, it's not real. It's not real, baby.
Do you know how many times I've dreamed of him in those 6 years? Not once. Because I was afraid to. So I know full well, if I stay here, I'll never really see him again. Never get to stand beside him, or live through the stories waiting ahead of us. Giving up all those possibilities for a fabricated memory of the past. That's a terrible deal. So, goodbye, Sophie. I don't want this dream.
The moment Cersei turned away, the blizzard raged even more intensely, as if the very world were lashing out at her defiance. Hailstones battered her from every direction, yet she pushed forward. She pulled her legs free from the deep snow again and again, pressing onward. Cersei, don't let Sophie's dream hold you. I know you can wake up from it. I believe in you. The farther she walked from the cafe, the clearer that guiding voice became. She had no idea how long she'd been walking. The blinding white devoured her sight, till at last, hints of color began seeping through the void. The colors became clearer, took shape, and became the familiar faces of Acacia, Marion, and him. And when they realized she was waking up, smiles broke across their faces.
Adjutant, she's awake.
Good shit. Though the people around us didn't know what had happened, they could still feel the joy radiating from us. Mood in the shelter brightened immediately. Quiet whispers turned into easy laughter, and the tension slowly melted from everyone's faces. Right on cue, the broadcast crackled to life, announcing that the crisis had passed. After the first cheers of relief, people began leaving the shelter, heading home in small groups. Lucalan had finally survived its darkest day. By the time we stepped out of the shelter, the deep blue night sky was already dotted with stars. Their soft, clear glow felt like the universe's own blessing upon a city that had lived through the catastrophe and emerged at last to tomorrow. Would you look at that? That was very nice. It's quite nice. What did you think was gonna happen, Sophie? God, fuck's sake, you could have done better. God. Maybe you should have let AI done it for you. Everything that had happened in Lucalan that day had thrown the entire city into turmoil. Most of the Andriotti family's forces were still out on disaster relief under Marion's command. Madeline had taken a separate unit to continue the hunt for Sophie. On Chongfu Street, Acacia and Longyan worked under Cersei's guidance, keeping watch over the residents' recovery. As for me, I had burned through every last bit of Tytogen in my system. Acacia and Marion were having none of it, and before long, it was clear I wasn't going anywhere but back to the Andriotti Manor to recover. The city remained frozen over, and the cold deepened as night fell. Inside the manor, the heat was already on and the fireplace lit, the work of the maids moving quietly through the house. Cozy flames flickered, casting a warm glow across the walls. There was a gentle knock at the door. I opened it to find Marion standing there. She stepped inside slowly, fatigue evident in her posture. Faint shadows lingered beneath her eyes. How are things in Lucalan?
We were lucky there were no casualties. Still, the damage to the infrastructure is extensive. Sorting it all out will take time.
She walked up to me and leaned into my arms, as if it were the most natural thing in the world. I could feel the tension and exhaustion in her body.
Sorry, Adjutant. It's been a long night. Could I recharge for a bit in your arms?
Take your time, Marion. We simply held each other in silence. The only sound in the room was the soft crackle of the fire. It was a while before Marion lifted her head from my chest.
Thank you, Adjutant. I feel a lot better now.
A recharge that short won't do for the new head of the house. How about we turn in early tonight?
But every time I close my eyes, my head fills up with all the things waiting for my sign-off as head. I don't think I'll be able to sleep.
Pushing yourself too hard. You're pushing yourself too hard. How about we take a short walk? Get some fresh air, clear your head a bit. It might help with your sleep tonight.
But are you sure you're all right?
Don't worry. I just used up my Tytogen, that's all. Not sick or injured.
If you're sure, then there's somewhere I'd like to go with you.
Marion led me along the manor's garden paths until we reached the lake at its center. Isolated from the open sea, the lake remained unfrozen. Tiny star-shaped lights floated across the surface, glowing softly as they swayed with the ripples. A gondola waited quietly by the shore. It was clear that everything here had been arranged with care.
You've never taken a gondola out at night before, have you, Adjutant? Would you like to give it a try?
She smiled, a little shy. Even in the dim nightlight, the faint blush on her cheeks was easy to see. I had already guessed most of what was on her mind. Still, I pretended not to notice, and stepped onto the gondola with her. Oh, would you look at that? The boat drifted away from the shore, rocking gently as it carried us toward the center of the lake. When we reached the center, the manor's lights spread across the water in shimmering reflections, weaving together into something almost dreamlike. Marion rested quietly against my lap, turning her face to watch the golden lights wavering across the surface. Is there something on your mind, Marion?
There really is nothing I can hide from you, Adjutant. All of this, I only finished arranging it about an hour ago. I meant to bring you here after you'd fully recovered, but I couldn't bring myself to wait any longer. There's something I just couldn't wait to tell you.
She slowly sat up and took a small velvet box from her pocket. Her fingers trembled slightly as she opened it with deliberate care. Inside lay a silver ring set with a jet black onyx, its color deeper than the night sky above us.
This is an heirloom of the Andriotti family, passed down from one head of the house to the next. The black onyx represents our family's creed, unmoved, unbroken. And now, I feel like I've finally grown into someone worthy of standing by your side, as your partner. So, before the covenant ceremony is officially held, I wanted to come to you, as I am now, and ask you properly.
Jeez.
This heirloom of the house, the vow it carries, and everything I am. I want to entrust all of it to you, and remain by your side for the rest of my life.
Blush on her cheeks deepened, spreading across her face. She took a steady breath, then asked, her voice trembling, the question that mattered most.
Adjutant, will you seal a covenant with me, and walk the years ahead by my side?
I will. As soon as I answered, tears shimmered in her eyes, like the lights dancing across the lake.
Could you say it again?
As many times as you want. I will, Marion. I want to enter that covenant with you, and walk all the years ahead by your side. Would you look at that? Beautiful. She lifted herself slightly, one hand brushing my cheek, while the other clutching my shirt, then leaned in and kissed me. The kiss began tentatively, then slowly deepened, growing warm and lingering until we had to part for breath. You said you were exhausted just now. You don't seem it anymore. Aren't we going to turn in early?
Didn't you just say I needed to clear my head before sleeping? You know how to make me stop thinking altogether, don't you?
Marian's lips curled into a smile, full of longing, with just a hint of challenge. Then she shifted her weight sharply to one side, sending the gondola lurching off balance. The icy water swallowed us in an instant, the cold biting deep. In a moment like that, the desperation to seek warmth was impossible to ignore. Yet she didn't reach for it right away, because what she truly wanted was to be completely claimed by love. She no longer needed to think, decide, or sign off on anything. All she had to do was give herself entirely to the one person she wanted to surrender to. She would yield, then would come the sweet release, that overwhelming rush of pleasure. Sensing her intention, I took the lead and drew her into my arms, filling her to the brim with the warmth she'd been waiting for. The shock of cold and heat colliding sent a tremor through her. Her body tensed on instinct and started to curl. I held her tightly, keeping her anchored in my arms, not even letting her rise for air. As the air thinned in our lungs, time itself seemed to slow. Every sensation heightened, every touch sharpening into something vividly intense. God, y'all are y'all are a different breed, man. She couldn't cry out beneath the water. All the emotions she'd been holding back had nowhere to go. Again and again, they crashed against the depths of her mind, relentless, overwhelming, all-consuming. Until her gaze turned hazy and unfocused. Until every stray thought finally crumpled away. When we finally made it back to the room, dripping wet, Acacia was there, staring at us in shock.
What happened to you two? You look like a pair of drowned cats.
Well, let's just say we might have fallen into the lake together.
Acacia frowned, clearly unconvinced, especially after catching the smug, satisfied little smile Marian was failing to hide. Still, who would jump into a freezing lake on purpose? In the end, she let it go and added a few more logs to the fire.
Here, Miss Longyan asked me to give you this letter.
Calling it a letter was generous. What she handed over was really just a thin sheet of paper, covered in Long Yan's usual scratchy, barely legible scrawl. As the year wanes, night and cold draw near. By the hearth side, a modest feast awaits here.
Is she inviting us to dinner?
Seems like it. With everything that's happened in Lukalan, I completely forgot tomorrow is Shuozhou's Mingdong Jie Festival. Well, since Miss Longyan went to the trouble of inviting us, we might as well drop by and join the festivities. The next day, before heading to see Longyan, I stopped by a hospital in Lukalan's coastal district. Good you stopped by to see Cersei, man. The moment I stepped into the ward, I saw Cersei lying in the hospital bed, bandaged so thoroughly it was hard to tell where she ended and the sheets began. Lukalan's medical care was competent, but it still fell short of what Yggdrasil could provide. After the surgery, Cersei had lost her manifestation abilities. She was just an ordinary girl now. What? What? Unexpectedly, the one most affected accepted the outcome with complete calm. Even as the doctor delivered the news, there wasn't the faintest trace of regret on her face.
Chief, would you like an apple?
She awkwardly held an apple out to me, her bandages making even that simple gesture a struggle. I couldn't help but laugh. You're the one in the hospital bed. How did I end up being the one getting the apple?
Right.
Forget the apple for now. I managed to bring you some milk tea. Want a sip? The mention of her favorite drink brought an immediate spark to her eyes.
Yes, please.
With her arms and legs wrapped up, she could hardly move, so I held the cup for her and brought the straw to her lips. Every now and then she drank a little too quickly, leaving a small drop at the corner of her mouth. When I reached out to wipe it away, her face flushed red, just like the apple she'd offered me earlier. Cersei, I wanted to check in with you about what comes next for you. Is returning to Yggdrasil something you've considered? She paused for a moment, then shook her head with a gentle smile.
I'm not a manifestation anymore. I don't think I'm suited for work there now.
Yggdrasil's a big place. I'm sure we can find something that works for you.
Thank you, but the people on Chongfu Street suffer because of what I did. I've already spoken with Miss Longyan, and I plan to spend a year on Chongfu Street in service to the community.
Okay.
It's the least I can do to repay what I owe.
I see. Then I respect your decision. Just remember, my offer always stands. Whenever you're ready, Yggdrasil's doors will be open to you.
Thank you, Chief.
Out of habit, she tried to bow in thanks, only to wince as the movement pulled at her wounds, drawing a sharp breath. Even so, her smile never wavered. If anything, there was a steadier, stronger light in her eyes now. After that, we chatted idly about whatever came to mind. Little by little, the room's glow changed from bright lemon yellow to gentle amber orange. As the afternoon quietly slipped by, the sorrow between us faded away. It was only when dusk almost settled that I left the hospital. Then Acacia, Marian, and I made our way back to Chongfu Street. It was Mingdongjie. The whole district was alive with festivities. Red lanterns hung over every doorway. Delicate paper cutouts brightened the windows. The children had already forgotten yesterday's tears, busy turning every icy surface into a makeshift slide. A light tang of firecracker smoke lingered in the air, blending with the rich aroma of food drifting from every kitchen. Moonlit Retreat was no exception. A slightly crooked Fu character hung to invite good fortune over for the coming year, had been pasted onto the outer wooden door, flanked by a pair of red couplets. The uneven brushstrokes had made it obvious they were Long Yan's handiwork. From inside came the lively clatter of bowls and plates. Preparations for the feast were clearly already underway.
Miss Long Yan, are you in there? Miss Long Yan?
After Acacia called out a few times, Long Yan came out to greet us, smiling warmly.
I'm here. I've been waiting in the courtyard. I was beginning to wonder if you'd actually show up.
An invitation from Miss Long Yan herself? Of course we'd show up.
I didn't expect the great hero of Lukalon to have such a way with words. All right, let's not linger out here in the cold. Come on in.
As soon as we stepped into the courtyard, a wave of warmth greeted us. Long Yan had set up braziers in the corners to ward off the cold. Dinner was still to come, or dinner was still some time off, so we sat together and chatted, casually working our way through a small mountain of honey mandarins piled on the table.
In years past, Mingdongjie was almost always a quiet affair for me. I never expected it to be this lively this year.
The adjutant mentioned you weren't born and raised in Shuozhou, Miss Longyan. I didn't realize Mingdongjie meant so much to you.
Some traditions passed down over generations are hard to part with.
Long Yan leafed through her ledger, the beads of her abacus clicking briskly as she worked. Even so, She kept up with the conversation, glancing up every now and then. What surprised me was how neat and refined her handwriting looked in the ledger. So unlike the chaotic scrawl she usually left behind. So she can write properly. Does she just not bother most of the time? When she was nearly finished balancing the books, Long Yan finally looked up at me, her eyes carrying an effortless, knowing allure.
Out of my 7,800 ships, more than half now rest at the bottom of the sea. Adjutant, a debt of this size calls for a proper return. So, how do you plan to repay me?
Now you're calling in for that. You're calling in that favor. Okay. I knew it. There's no debt harder to repay than a favor. I could only imagine how Miss Longyan planned to make me pay for it in the days ahead. Just as that thought crossed my mind, an unexpected guest arrived.
Look who it is! My brother-in-law!
The moment she stepped through the door, Madeline's booming voice filled the courtyard. I shot Longyan a helpless look. She just lifted a hand to her hips, barely hiding a soft, amused smile.
Well, it is Mingdongjie after all. A little liveliness comes with the occasion.
Hey, brother-in-law. In the spirit of Mingdongjie, I even brought you a red envelope. Come on, just wish your big sister good fortune, and the red envelope's yours. Madeline?
Hearing her sister's request, Marianne hurried to stop her.
Miss Madeline, we do give red envelopes in Shuojo, but only from elders to children.
Huh? That's how it works. Well, fine. I'll just keep the money for myself.
Wait, hold on. As the conversation carried on, Long Yan's mechanical fox wobbled over again, its eyes flashing a warning red. You're really not going to give it a voice module?
Mm-hmm. I'm terribly lazy after all. No plans for that just yet.
I feel you on that. I feel you. Then, do you know what it wants to tell us?
It says dinner's ready, although...
She paused, glancing around.
Where is Miss Acacia?
When Acacia received the notice from the post office, the letter, she was left quietly confused. The adjutant had written that postcard within her own inner mind. How then had it crossed into the real world? After picking it up, she didn't return to Moonlit Retreat. Curiosity tugged at her, and she took a seat on a nearby bench instead. What'd you say, bro? For reasons she couldn't quite explain, her heart was racing. She longed to see what was written on the other side, yet feared it might not be the answer she was hoping for. So she remained there, staring at the image on the front of the postcard, her fingers tracing the paper's edge, unable to turn it over. A cold wind swept along the street, leaving her nose and cheeks faintly red. Just then, light snowflakes began to drift down, one, then another, catching in her hair, before melting into tiny beads of cold against her skin. But the chill vanished almost as soon as it came. She looked up in surprise. At some point, an umbrella had been raised above her, shielding her from the drifting snow. Above her was the soft gold of the streetlights. Below, the untouched silver of snow. And before her stood a figure who added a third color to this small, quiet world. There you are. The moment she realized it was me, Acacia's face flushed bright red. She scrambled to hide the postcard behind her back. I didn't want to help. I already caught a glimpse. You gonna read it? I rewrote it for you after coming back to the real world.
So that's why. For a moment there, I thought the world glitched or something. Then, I'll read it now.
The two of us huddled beneath a single umbrella. The falling snow softened the world around us, leaving a small, quiet space meant only for us. Acacia drew a deep breath and, with hands trembling just a little, turned the postcard over.
To Acacia of the future. Thank you for crossing all those years to reach me. From here on, I want us to run toward many more beautiful moments together. So, would you seal a covenant with me? Would you be my partner and walk with me into the next era, and the one after that, all the way to the end of time?
So, what's your answer?
My answer... Of course it's yes.
God, man. Shit. She threw herself into my arms, the umbrella slipping free with a soft thump as it sank into the snow. I cuffed her face, both hands, watching tears shimmer in her eyes, then leaned down to press a kiss to her radiant smile. The kiss was cool at first, touched by the winter air, but warmth soon bloomed between us. When we finally parted for breath, the pale mist curled and mingled between us as we tried to catch our breath. Snowflakes drifted down once more, settling on her flushed, slightly swollen lips, only for us to slip back into another deep, lingering kiss. By the time we returned to Moonlit Retreat, the girls were already busy carrying dishes to the table, and Acacia hurried over at once to lend a hand. Let's see, what do we have here? Look at that! How splendid! Hot pot, sweet and sour ribs, crispy fried cuts. The spread was so abundant it was hard to know where to start. On top of that, Longyan had even brought out some peach blossom brew she'd made herself.
It's all simple home cooking, nothing special. I just hope everyone enjoys it.
A feast. Whoosh! Bang. Just as I was about to take a seat, fireworks shot up into the sky, blooming into brilliant colors against the night. Look at that, I love it.
Wow, those fireworks are gorgeous. It's my first time celebrating Mingdongjie. I never realized Chongfu Street could be this lively.
Some of tonight's cheer comes from the festival, of course. But more than that, it's everyone celebrating that Lukalon made it through the disaster safely. On that note, allow me to raise a glass to you, Adjutant. Without you, Lukalon would not be enjoying a night like this.
You're too kind, Miss Longyan. The chamber played its part under your leadership, and the Andriotti family did as well.
All right. Let's stop passing the praise around.
Then let's all raise a glass together. Come on. Cheers.
Cheers! If I had some champagne, I'd down it right now. Glasses clinked together, their clear chime echoing through the small courtyard. Marian took a sip of the peach blossom brew. The light sweetness made her eyes soften, a small, satisfied smile tugging at her lips. Miss Longyan, you wouldn't mind if a few more guests joined us, would you? I found a corner with decent lighting, set up the terminal, adjusted the camera, and steeled myself for the worried fuss I knew was coming from home. Sure enough, the moment the call connected, voices flooded in, all talking at once. My girls all spoke over one another, lively and animated, no one willing to give way.
Darling! I know you already called to say you were safe, but I still couldn't stop worrying. Is everything alright over in Lucalan?
Don't worry, everything's fine now.
Good. Good. It's all Sophie's fault. That vile woman. If I ever get my hands on her, she won't get away so easily.
Yeah.
Fanny, that's enough. It's Mindungjie, so let's not spoil the mood. Darling, everyone at the base put together a festive dinner too. We wanted to share it with you over comms, and we're
Aw.
just about to call you when you called us. Guess we were on the same wavelength.
Oh yes, wifey. Always.
My prince, look. These are the dumplings we all made together. I made all the shepherd's purse dumplings myself. Didn't slack off even once, I swear.
Oh, I believe you. Whoa.
Ichil just knocked over the bag of flour!
Oh, we can't make dumplings without wrappers. That's just meatballs at that point. Oh, Ichil, stop messing around.
The view of feed flashed white all at once. When the flour finally began to settle, Haru stumbled into frame, coughing.
Sorry, Adjutant. We had a bit of a situation.
I know. Yeah, Jill knocked the flour over.
Not just that. Mia tried a spoonful of Cherno's 5 blessings and passed out.
Oh my god. Good lord.
I keep saying, Cherno's cooking deserves a warning section all its own in the new staff handbook.
Caroline's petite figure squeezed into the frame, giving a little helpless little wave.
Adjutant! I brought a whole bunch of special fireworks from back home. I was hoping we could set them off together.
Oh, come on. It's all good. Shit. Sorry, boo-boo. I'll make it up to you when I'm back. But for now, why don't you tell me what guns you brought?
There's a Gatling-style firework, and magic burst ones, and... Huh? Adjutant! They're lighting all my fireworks without me!
With the terminal propped on the table, the call stayed open, and just like that, I shared the entire Mindungjie dinner with the girls through the screen. By the time midnight crept close, they finally said their goodbyes, reluctant as they were. Outside, fireworks were still bursting in bright waves. At some point, Long Yan had come to stand quietly at my side, her profile softened by the shifting light.
Adjutant, would you care to make a New Year's wish?
I looked up at the cascade of lights across the sky, taking a moment to think. Then let me borrow an old swagel, saying that feels fitting for tonight. My wish is, many days like this, return, year after year. How sweet, how sweet, how very nice. Would you look at that? We all get many Covenant avatars. Oh, sweet. Lovely. Very, very nice. Honestly, this whole story felt like a fever dream. Like a very sweet, soothing sail at night. With a bright-ass moon and stars, of course. It was nice. I liked it. It's time to reap the rewards, and... wow. I already finished this day. I can't believe I already finished the story that quick. It's already 6 AM, goddamn. It's always late. Always early morning for me. Is everything? Yeah. What a length. The first half is not even... it's more than half. This is like... not even... it isn't... it's been an hour and 54 minutes. It hasn't even been 2 hours. Jeez. This isn't... 6 wasn't half, man. God damn. I just don't know exactly when half is. Alright. So look at that. Yay! Nice. 90. How much do I have? Oh, perfect! I can get all this. Wait. Oh, I was looking at the fox. Whoops. I'm short 40. Whoopsie. Is there a way for me to get the last 40 right now? Or do I have to wait? They're unavailable. I would have gotten these, but it's too early. Oh. Hey, Acacia. Don't worry, I'm gonna get you your new exosuit. Don't worry, I got you. You do the daily first, actually. Well, I guess I can start.
I hope it's worth what you paid.
Yes, it is. I think. Yeah, no, not think. I always do this after I finish the story.
Think they have any old merch?
Maybe. It's time for me to pull. And then keep pulling on. Oh, but I didn't do it last patch because I was still on the fence of whether I wanted to get Boo Boo or not. But this time, I'm certain I want to get Acacia. Let's get a new weapon type. It's a sword. Come on. And her playstyle is pretty nice. Pretty fluid. I kind of like it. Oh, yeah. Dude, I don't know how you're playing this on mobile. Oh my god. I'd like to get Esther. That'd be nice. Oh my god. Forget that little shit, man. Bitch ass, man. I could care less about that little shit in red. Ah, God, my neck. Everything. Oh, yeah. Done. Oh, Jotun Tunnel refreshes tomorrow. I'll wait until the complete weekly is back. Let me get that. I'm going to read that later, boo-boo. Claim these. Sweet, 4K, damn. Ah, nice. Right. Well, 7,400 with 10 pulls already. Wow. Would you look at that? Oh wait, how's the shop reset? No, it resets tomorrow. Oh, I got 5 extra pulls for the perfect. Allow me to redeem these already.
I hope it's worth what you paid.
It's definitely worth, Acacia. Definitely. It's for you. It's for you. It refreshes tomorrow. Damn. I want to be a good boy and wait, but I'm getting a little impatient. I want to be a good boy. Okay, well, I'll not be a good boy. Let's get a head start, because I would like to start pulling now and start building up until I eventually get you. You come first. Your character always comes first. Weapon next. Right? Let's do this. Ugh. It's a long journey again. It's gonna take a while until I get you. Should I start skipping these since I've already seen this so many times? Maybe, maybe not.
One shot, one kill. Home for an early dinner.
You know, one day they need to update what to do with these 4 stars because they're completely outdated now. I think they're just gonna leave them as is. What else can they do about it? Oh, I got 3 extras. Still the login and the 1 from the shop. But yeah, I'll keep going. 2, okay. It'll help keep stack. Hopefully, no, I don't think I can get Marian's, signature. It's just too many pulls to make that happen.
I'm Enya Murphy. Hope I can be of some help.
I never got your Tempest exosuit. Damn it. It's just not enough. I would have to bring out the wallet, but I'm not gonna do that.
I'm Acacia. Just Acacia.
How far we've come. How far we've come, man. Damn. Snowbreak, just keep going. Just keeps going forward. There's still a bunch of coffee in here. 24. Ah, man. 24. It's gonna be a long journey, man. But I'm used to it. Because at least the devs always give enough for every player to get the featured character. Which is nice. I mean, fuck yeah, it's nice. Shit.
I want to remember you. You're important to me.
I wonder how many of this already I've gotten. I should save that for the weapon, but at the snake. Yeah, no. Save it for the weapon. Be patient. Be a patient boy. Because once you run out of this, yeah. It's gonna keep going. Maybe I'll leave an extra 10. I'll stop at when I have 1600 left. Yeah, just to leave a few. You're gonna put me all the way at the 10th?
If you need someone to look into something, just let me know.
Oh, Mauser. You're a new exosuit. It's perfect to me. I love it so much. Love it. I still gotta do a run for you. A PL run for you. 3,200 is 20 pulls, so I can do one more. Let's do one more. Yeah. I'm just short 50. Okay.
I want to remember you. You're important to me.
Cute. Always so cute, man.
Risha Ignis, price at 2.5. Feel free to check.
You're getting a new one. You're getting a new exosuit with longer hair. Crazy. I think you're coming up, aren't you? Might be coming up next. Alright, good. I'll stop here for now. Oh, look at that! I'm already halfway there. Ain't that nice? Alright. Well, let's get started on this one. Might as well, I got 10. Then I'll get another 5 tomorrow. Alright. Now start. And do a start. Oh man. Why the hell am I drinking coffee at 6 a.m.? Who the hell does that? Who the hell drinks coffee at 6 a.m. without sleeping throughout the night, man? Who the hell does this? Sweet. Okay. That's enough pulling. I want to save this 10. It's a contingency. wanted to do some polls. I just wanted to get started already. Oh, look at that. Yep. Did my echoes. It's not my fault the controls in that game are boo-boo doo-doo. Yeah, dude. In shooters, you gotta use a controller, man. You can't just do touch, man. You gotta use a controller.
Think they have any old merch?
Even if you get used to those controls, goodness gracious, you can't beat a controller user, let alone a keyboard or mouse. Oh, only 2. Damn it. Alright, I'll get an extra 5 tomorrow. And yeah. Well then, that was Back from Bygone. The story. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And now I'm thinking, what's next? What is the next phase of this plot? Sophie's still around. Edda is still around too. How is Long Yang gonna join the team? I know she's gonna join the team because they already showed the concept arts of her exosuit. Is that what's next, or is that coming on later? Honestly, the only thing I'm excited about right now, going ahead, is Wifey with that new beautiful form of hers. I cannot wait. That I guaranteed, I promise this time I will spend. I will. Because it's Wifey, man. I shall. Well, I'm spent. It's 6:10 now. It's very early. It's very late, so this is it for me. It's 6:10 a.m. It's early morning. Good morning, everyone, and until the next one, which maybe I'll post. I've already uploaded both Chen Qing's PL run and her solo run already. It's all set up and ready. I'll just post it whenever I guess is the right moment, I guess. I don't want to just throw out my videos like back to back all the way. I don't want to do that. I want to pace it just right. But yeah, until the next one, whenever that will be. Yeah, bye bye.